Sully's time, breaking down the stories every view will unwind. From left to right, we'll see the light. It's balance we're chasing, no fighters fight. Curtis Sylvie, talking it straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Sylvie's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Sylvie, keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, it's diving deep with Curtis Sylvie. The combos you need. The combos you need. Days out with the cheerful whistle and guitar riff. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby, keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The convo's unique. Curtis Selby, talking it straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Selby's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby, keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The combos unique. The combos unique. The combos unique.
Greetings, folks. It is I, Curtis Selby, your tired midnight blogger. What blogs in this case at 6:59 p.m. Today we have a treat. We have a special guest star, Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. Kapla, how art thou, sir?
Kapla. And I don't know about you, but I have been thoroughly enjoying all these people having a complete damn meltdown over this whole D.O.G.E thing. I am ecstatic here. And you know the best part is? All these
What's
people
that?
that are yelling and screaming, they're just making it easier to know who the hell's getting the biggest kickbacks and who has the biggest sets of fraud. Fraud
You
there.
have got it. Go ahead.
And I love how they're going, oh, Elon Musk has all your personal data and all that. First of all, if you ever had a PayPal account or an X account, he has all your info.
He has all of it.
And second of all, I'd rather have someone I know the name of it, and we know all the people, thanks to doxing, who's working on this here, versus the 180,000 IRS agents who are soon to be on our border.
But remember, no one elected big balls. All right, sorry. I couldn't help it.
Oh, yeah. I know what I was going to pull up.
Well, so let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We have Jeff B. Howdy, howdy. Martin Molnikov. Kapla. Glory to you and your house. And Resolute Germ. Hello, hello. So, well, that was a great stream. Night. No. So,
I'm just going to share something at the bottom there.
I see it. Let's look at that. That is, I know I'm supposed to be centrist, but I'm sorry, folks. This is a beauty to behold. The D.O.G.E clock letting us know we have saved well over $110 billion.
I kind of wish we would caught this at 100 billion so we could be like $100 billion. We could have actually pulled up that clip.
Oh yeah. Great idea. What am I doing? I'm doing something
yeah.
clever.
But Yeah, I never heard much about the Pentagon audit though. I thought they were going to the Pentagon before the
I thought
IRS.
that too. They must have.
Yeah.
Somebody must have detoured them, or I don't know. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Well, the last time the Pentagon got a real audit instead of the oh yeah, it looks good. You might be missing a couple trillion, but that's good. You know when the last time they got a real audit was? I found this out recently.
When was that?
This is in early September 2001. You know, nothing historical there. You know, happening or nothing.
Oh, yes. But you know what? They failed that one. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and amazingly, all those people suffered in the office, and all the people who were auditing them tragically died that day.
Yes, it was a lot of conspiracy theorists. No offense meant, because I'm one too, really.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, a lot of people are like, "Why isn't it weird that we have all this money? We're about to have this great big scandal." Because that's where it was heading. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it went away because, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but, you know, this is one of those, the source is the one that I half respect, because he doesn't always give all his sources, and he doesn't fully go into the stories and all that. He kind of brushes over the stories. So I'm kind of leery, but he's one he's been digging into. But he's one of those. He's not afraid to get in the face of a lot of these people. He's actually gotten kicked out of what's that one, that big group?
Davos or the weird thing in California.
No, it starts with a B. They're Brinkman. They're Brinks something.
Brexit? No, that's
no Brinks. It's Brink. It's kind of like the Davos, or he's gotten in the face of the Davos leaders too. But
well, there's the Davos. There's the one in California.
That's in New York.
Or New York. Sorry, yeah. Do you realize that we've saved over $2 million just while we've been talking?
Yeah. Hey, where's this? Here, let me do the math on this here. I'm gonna do the math. We're gonna go by approximately every person that's registered in the United States, not just us taxpayers. That's a cold difference. But say we're gonna take all this money that we saved here, and let's see, 110 and 704.
It's moving
million.
So fast. Wow.
Okay, divided by 320 million. We saved enough to send every single person in the United States $345.95 approximately.
Well, it's a bad, terrible thing.
Hey, Elon, I want my check in the mail here pretty soon. I got this gas bill is really skyrocketing this week.
Tell me about it. There's some people. I mean, I'm in decent shape anymore, but I've known a time when $300 would have been enough to just practically save my life. So it could be a big deal.
It's a cushioning thing. Who knows? I could reinvest it. And hey there, DJ Play Nice, Suzanne, and Boomer.
All right. We've also got a new face, Swift -1.
Oh, you should have seen his name before that. It was Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, MCU, and Doctor Who combined.
Wow. Well, you know, we almost worship Taylor Swift. She is the great goddess of our time.
Unless she's at the Super Bowl.
Right. Ooh. Mark Molikov, Trump gave me an idea for my model railroad. I created the Department of Railroad Operations Efficiency, ROAP, with an unlimited budget and not under the control of the household authority, a.k.a. my wife. It didn't go over well. Jeff B., thank you very much. You are actually talking to the person who created that intro for me. Gorilla's right here. He has a great talent for making spiffy musical theme bobs because, you know, I know the technical terms of all this stuff. The Phantom Boomer Explorers, Helen Wilmette. Whoop, I want all that money.
Well, we'll send it your cut of it.
Yes, exactly. Well, we'll send you a cut, but we have to take a small fee out for protection. We've saved $10 million just since we've been sitting here.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. My thought of Zelensky there. I even said this to someone on Twitter. There, I think you bookmarked it even. There. If he doesn't want to come to the table and he doesn't want to even talk with us, and he rejected Trump's agreement there. Fine, they can build their own tanks, planes, and artillery. Oh wait, they can't. So we're in control.
That's the trouble. And don't get me wrong, I with respect to I'm having a senior moment. Darkness, Edge, I'm having a terrible senior moment, but I'm still pretty much on the side of Ukraine was invaded. This was a bad deal, but we have to be realistic. Are they able to win without us? And I don't think.
Well, here's the problem there. We got this go. You can go, depending on how far back you want to go. There, Ukraine's been picking this fight for a long time with the Russians, and the last straw was us trying to get them into NATO. That's the final straw, and then they cut them off from their Black Sea fleet from by ending the lease to the what's that peninsula? Their port on the peninsula, the Crimea. The Crimea.
We also have CODIS Fact Search, who is somebody with a formidable intelligence and who knows way more than he should. He's a wonderful human being. CODIS Fact Search, want to know what I think? Feds are currently attempting to sue me. Thank you for sharing this, by the way, sir. I know that this is a hard topic for you. They're stating that they overpaid him by $53,200. I earned it, unlike the potentially millions of 150-plus-year-old SSI.
Oh yeah, did you see there's hundreds of people that are older than the government than the country's been around?
Yes, and they have thought I had it bookmarked, but I may not. I fact checked it, and there's some article. I can't believe I don't have that bookmarked. But anyway, well, he just doesn't understand how the Social Security system does its accounting. You have to understand that it uses this program called COBOL, and COBOL makes it so that it's listed this way. Here's my question to that. Are they mailing checks or are they not? If they're mailing checks, then it's horse shit. If they're not, then okay. Yeah. Your explanation stands. And
if it's only like a couple thousand people, I take it up with that guy either Dutrin who doesn't know how to double check numbers or something just got misplaced on it or a death certificate didn't come through, But when we're talking potentially over 20 million people over the age of 120, I don't know about you, but I don't even know a single person over 100 years old.
No,
let alone 120, and I don't even think I know. The oldest I've ever heard was someone was like 114 years, like 8 months and 14 days or something like that.
The oldest person I've personally known was 98. So I can't find it now. I know I bookmarked it, but as you see, I kind of went crazy bookmarking things lately. But we don't have to share all of them. Where is it? I will share this one. Is it summer yet? Asked Pooh. Oh. No, it's still February. For fuck's sake.
Okay, I lied. There's a person who is 116 years old that lives in Tobiko, Ikuka, Japan.
Oh, here it is. Although that's not the best. You know what? It'll have to do. Vampires collecting Social Security. 25 million plus Social Security recipients are over 100. 1.4 million are 150 to 199 years old, and 2 are older than the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
hey,
COBOL. It's
yeah,
COBOL programming. That's the
yeah.
answer.
And hey, Daniels and Cynthia.
Let me get back to.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll get that clock back up just because I love to gloat over all this money that we're saving. They'll probably find something foolish to use it on. I imagine they'll use it to prosecute CODIS Fact Search for like being a good citizen. CODIS Fact Search says, look at the unfunded end debts. That's the true debt. Unfunded end debts. Wow, there's so much crap on here. But at any rate, according to this, the U.S. national debt is $36,136,136,000,000 and counting. Zelensky is a national socialist, an actual national socialist. I know that has been claimed, and I do know it's been proven that there are actual national socialists in their army. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that, Putin had the right to invade, but it's proven that there is at least some truth to that claim. Suzanne, hello. How are you doing today? Lots of people. I should have gorillas on all the time. I get all the great people over. Of course, I have great people of my own, but Alt World Sorcerer Dan, hello. I do not know you. Welcome, welcome. I hope you'll consider giving me a sub, and let me see if I can get. I'm going to sub to you first. Haha. Maybe. What is YouTube doing to me? It is being strange. It won't let me go there. All right. That is weird. Well, okay. Anyway, consider giving me a sub if you'd like. That is one thing I'd like to share. I'm only 8 subs away from 700, and I am a scant 100 and 191 watch hours away from being monetized. So my imaginings is I'll get monetized and then someone will get butthurt for my political way.
Oh, people get butthurt with me all the time.
I hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I missed time supper tonight.
Oh well, I just ate a can of tuna because even though I had the day off, I ended up taking a long nap right before the stream. So the record is 123. I think it's somewhere thereabouts. There was a French woman who was documented to be, I know, well over 120. Phantom Boomer, one of their grandparents made it to 102.
I just fact checked. I just fact checked this. So.
Oh, indeed.
Oh wait.
No.
Who was the oldest person to live to 100? Zario Egas. There's an ongoing debate as to his actual age when he died. According to the death certificate provided by his Turkish doctor, Zario was 157.
Holy crap. Well, I know there's a French woman that they know made it over 120. But
I think you're talking about Gian Clement.
Yes. She rented an apartment to a 70-year-old and put it in her will that when she died, he could just have it. She ended up outliving him. So, yeah. So he didn't get it. Phantom Boomer, one of their grandparents, one of their grandmothers made it to 102.
Nice. Well, the person who bought the Playboy Mansion there, they had just a pretty good deal that's getting sold for $300 million, and one of the stipulations in the contract was that you had to let Hugh Hefner live there until he died, and well, he did.
Woo!
But he died about 6 months after it was sold.
After the deal. Yeah, he was well into his 90s. It was all that clean living, you know.
Oh,
Suzanne, that's exactly what I want to know. I want to know, one, are they mailing the checks? Because, like I say, I'm willing to listen to the fact checkers if no checks are going out for those 150-year-olds. But if they're mailing checks out and somebody's cashing them, then this is bullshit. I don't care
Yeah.
what your explanation is.
Okay, so say someone is cashing these checks privately. What do you think the punishment should be?
They should refund all the money with 10% compounded interest.
Okay, fair enough. No prison time or nothing.
And if they can't do that, then they should do an hour of public service for every, we'll be reasonable, for every $100 that they've filched from us.
Okay.
So, unfunded liabilities is down at the bottom. Let's see. CODIS Fact Search is saying that unfunded liabilities is the actual debt. I'm looking.
Like, is he talk about on the national?
Well, he was saying that basically you have the debt that it shows us, which is that, what is that, 36 trillion or whatever?
Yeah.
And then he's saying that the true debt is unfunded liabilities, is according to him, which if I could see it, do you see it?
I don't know what this charitable donations thing is, but
No.
U.S. unfunded liabilities is holy shit.
Wow. 226 trillion, 770 billion, 843 million. So, not to take away from Doge, but they're basically saving us pennies when they're blowing fortunes. But it's a start. I'll take it. Daniel's hot topic. That is, in fact, the topic of the day. Vampires are real, and our government funds have
and they're sucking at the government teat.
Yes, which I want to suck at. Well, anyway.
Hey, clip it. Oh, dang, this ain't my things here, so I can't clip. Because I found if I press B, it'll actually bookmark the spot where you said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, press B. Press B.
Okay, I pressed it. Okay.
Now, when you go into your studio there, they'll have an actual bookmark at the time spot.
Okay. Cool. Nice. I learned so much from you guys. CODIS Fact Search, unfunded liabilities means a person owes that money, it needs to be paid. It's simply not on the current ledger. For what's being paid right now at this moment, essentially considering your home loan is essentially an unfunded liability, as you pay what you can pay right now, but there's no way you could pay the whole house off tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, you ever maybe that's the reason why they're so itchy to get into a war. I wonder if like China and Russia hold a vast amount of that.
I know China does.
So maybe that's why they're so itching for a war.
Well, they got to come up with the money somehow, and you know what better way?
Well, whoever wins the war doesn't have to pay their debt.
That's true. CODIS Fact supports none of the above. Do not care. He does not care about Russia or the Ukraine. Suzanne, the income tax for these dead people, Social Security only pays by looking at your income taxes every year. And she is leaving a YouTube clip for us. And I'm having something weird going on with my YouTube. I can't. It's way behind on the chat for some reason. I know I'm doing okay, although I'm tired as hell anymore. So, and thank you, Suzanne. Noah was 700. Yes. And he's probably still getting Social Security checks. Suzanne, sounds like a truckload of horse shit.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Mikey and Connie.
Indeed. Welcome, Mikey and Connie. The 350-year-old has direct deposit.
Yeah.
Add the two together. What happens when we do that?
Yeah. Hey, do you you know what the most searched term was for in Washington D.C. this last week though was?
I have no idea. What was it?
Criminal defense lawyers.
Ooh. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Hello, Mikey Susie 4. Hail and well met. Alt World Sorcerer Dan. I hope I did this right. His Gorilla's link should be popped up.
No, he's wanting the link to the panel.
If it's all right, let's just keep it between Gorillas and I for now.
Yeah, this is totally Curtis's stream that I asked if I could simulcast because I've been wanting to talk about this, and I got someone who's a lot more affluent than I am.
I don't know about that, but but I appreciate you, sir. You're too kind. If I'm not, CODIS Fact Search is. I can guarantee you that. This guy knows a shit ton. Connie Cleary, hell, she says she's late. You're never late. You always arrive right on time. CODIS Fact Search, we're so far past the need for something obviously nobody's going to talk about on YouTube or anywhere else.
Connie is neither late nor early. She arrives precisely when she needs to.
Yeah, most of us these days are honestly cowards. Well, I've been a coward. I'll just admit it. In the past, I let the powers cow me into silence and stuff. And CODIS is also saying that he doesn't want the channel to get a strike. That said, war is inevitable. It's necessary for the reset. The entire global hegemony, as it were all the major leaders, they're all in bed together. And that is something I've argued quite a lot in the past, that it seems like all of them are in bed together. Well, what do we want to look at next? I have... Let's look at this. Yeah.
Hey, Outlaw Bill.
How can you be?
Hey, you know why USAID was the first one to get targeted by D.O.G.E, though?
I really don't know. Why is that?
Because they're the one throwing up the biggest fit, and they're the ones started screaming and yelling the loudest. So it's like, what are they trying to hide?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, it's USAID. Do not say USAID because it's not aid. It's the Agency for International Development. But people want to say aid there. So they say, see, they're cutting off all these aid to other countries.
Exactly. Well, it's a psyop is basically what it is. What they're wanting us to think that it's aid to other countries when it's just about anything but.
Well, castration for kids in Peru. Some LGBT, who cares about the rest of the letters, play in Scotland. So someone's like, oh, I don't know if I told you this one, Chris, but this was my favorite one. They spent like $14,000 to Ireland there for one of those LGBT plays and all that. Person's like, it's only $14,000. I was like, that's 3 times my tax liability based on my income. So does that mean I don't have to pay taxes for 3 years now?
Right. I do want to take a look at one thing because, frankly, at the risk of insulting some of our friends that disagree with us, there is exactly and only one argument that has carried some weight with me as far as this being a bad thing, quote unquote. And that is the whole idea that Musk may have a conflict of interest. So let's maybe look at that. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, they already covered that.
Have they?
Trump flat out said if they thought there was going to be a conflict of interest with Elon Musk, he would not be looking into that stuff. Then someone pointed out, well, Tesla and SpaceX got these $300 and $400 million contracts. They got axed. Those two contracts got axed.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'll bet that. I wonder if that was reported on. Do you know the source of that? Or
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
It's on one of my. I think it could have been anywhere from Glenn Beck to probably Tim Pool. I think it was. Was Tim Pool.
Okay, gotcha.
Not saying it's 100% accurate there,
right.
but Tim Pool does his research, and so does Glenn Beck.
Right. Musk touts D.O.G.E transparency, but downplays his own potential conflicts of interest. CNN, as we all know, never lies.
Hey,
never.
It's during this conference, too, that they're covering that Trump said that because someone asked that question about his conflict of interest. He said that's what he said, that if they felt like there's going to be a conflict of interest in that, Elon Musk would not have access to that. But someone went flat out said that as soon as that got brought to Trump's attention, the two contracts with SpaceX and Tesla, which for SpaceX, I do not mind that subsidy right there. He's trying to get us to Mars and advance space. But they got axed.
Yeah. Well, I would think that simply put, he couldn't go look into the departments that he's directly working with,
benefiting from.
Yeah.
Benefiting.
But there's actually ways to get around that if you were interested in that. But that's neither here nor there. Musk brushed off questions about the authorities he's using to gut entire agencies, saying instead that Trump's election last November amounted to license enough to carry out the will of the voters. What do we think about that?
Wait, what was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're fine.
I was looking at something else.
Oh, no. It better not have been politics.com. Oh, no. Anyway, Elon Musk denied that his extensive business dealings with the government amounted to conflicts of interest. He brushed off questions about the authorities he's using to gut entire agencies, saying instead that Trump's election last November amounted to license to carry out the will of the voters. The people voted, which I should have just cut to this. The people voted for major government reform. That's what the people are going to get. That's what democracy is all about. What do we think about that statement?
Well, we voted that. And hey, Eugene, how's it going?
I happen to agree with them. I mean, I don't mean to be overly simplistic, but we won. We voted knowing that this was what they were going to do. We let them know that we wanted this done. And
my favorite thing with after this one goes, so it's like the Republicans there, they won the Electoral College, they won the popular vote. They have a majority of the Supreme Court. There we have a majority of the governors. There we have the House, the Senate, and goes. Last time this happened was 1928, and someone goes, "Yeah, what happened in 1929?"
Yeah, I mean it's a point. It is something to consider. It really is.
Yeah. Did I say hi to Eugene?
I don't know. I'm so far behind. Outlaw Bill, hail and well met. Yeah. And who else? Eugene, you say, is in here?
Yeah, Eugene Bird. We could just catch up on chats.
Old Man Bird, is that who Eugene is?
Yep.
I don't know who Eugene is. Oh, hello. Hail and well met. Alt World Sorcerer Dan. Yeah. Oh, that's not where it was. Here it is. Suzanne, even direct deposit If your account shows zero activity, only deposits, the bank will freeze the account and reach out to you repeatedly before releasing. I know I left like $50 in a bank once. Jeff B is letting people know that Gorilla's channel is pinned in Curtis's chat. Please sub to both and thumbs up both, please.
Thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely. Suzanne, 5 years ago, they kept sending me emails to sign to close off the account. Alt World Sorcerer Dan to the leadership. It's just a big planetary and geopolitical game for all of them. I agree with that one. Yeah. I sure do.
Yeah, Eugene, this is, I'll put mine in there, but this is really Curtis's there.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just being a big jerk and muscling my way through everything. Because I have such big muscles, especially compared to a gorilla.
Yeah.
Resolute Germ. I think.
I
know this is who, what, where, and why? Sorry.
Oh, he's asking for my PayPal link there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but this is really Curtis. This is really Curtis's stream.
Yeah, my StreamYards, I still need to work on it. I need to get my PayPal up there. I need to get my Patreon. I need to have more people that I'm marketing for, whatever the term is. I agree with Resolute Germ here. I think the USAID was little more than a CIA slush fund. And that's why, you know, again, I'm going to offend some friends of mine, but I have zero pity or sympathy for any of these people who've been laid off when it comes to the USAID anyway. Mark Molikoff, Elon is riding his bulldogger through the swamp.
Yeah. No, Eugene, sorry I won't be able to play your song.
What song is it?
It's like whenever I get a super chat, I play a super chat song there.
Gotcha.
But Eugene got his own ones there.
Gotcha. World War III, Mike Caesar 4, Earth's rebirth is predicted in the Bible. It must happen, needs to happen, it will happen. Suzanne, what's for dinner? Suzanne's boy is making beef stroganoff. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me hungry. Daniel's Hot Topics. We can all hope and pray there's no war in Great Reset. That won't be good for anyone. And I take that back, Daniels. It'll be great for Davos. It'll be great for the Trilateral Commission.
It'll be good for mutations of. It'll be great for mutations for life.
For the X-Men. It won't be good for bugs, though. I could see the insect population being curtailed. Loving the chatter makes it happen. Mikey Sousa 4. And I know Mikey doesn't agree with us on all things. He's a great guy, but he doesn't agree with everything we think. Elon Muskrat's committee on slapping the U.S. and other countries responsible for worldwide debts. Old Man Bird paid $35,000 in federal taxes last year.
Shit! Did they at least use some lube? At least
no.
Were they at least nice enough for that?
Nope. They weren't even about it. I'm sure.
Oh, sorry about that, Suzanne. I just had rotisserie chicken from Walmart and some stuffing.
Food. Jeff B. Elon SpaceX is going to rescue two from the ISS soon. Yeah, I'd actually done a stream about that quite a while back, because evidently the U.S. government's no longer able to do it. 2 years of college. Someone.
Thank you very much for that Eugene sings. Thanks, Gorilla. But you got thank you very much for that.
Coda's Fact Search nicely said, I agree. Everybody's saying hello and good evening. Alt World Sorcerer Dan, they found a write-off of them, paid massive amounts of bananas for a gorilla in Minnesota to enjoy. Fantastic.
Hey, they put the loopholes in there. I'm exploiting them just like Trump.
Right on. That's fantastic.
That was his winning moment in the debate against Hillary Clinton there, when she says he doesn't pay taxes. He goes, "You guys wrote the loopholes for all your rich friends there. Don't blame me for using the loopholes that you created. If you didn't want the loopholes used, close them up. You had how many years to do that?"
Exactly correct. No, I agree. I agree with him on that score, at least in principle. Yeah, they had those loopholes open for a reason. They had them open for their own benefit. It just pissed them off that he was benefiting from them as well. CODIS Fact Search, I think, makes a good point here. None of those agencies are constitutional. None of them are under anybody's authority except for the president. So what's happening is actually 100% under the executive department and therefore constitutionally okay. Then you know what? He just basically made the point right there. All these people can piss and moan and whine, but unless he's doing something that actually violates the Constitution, I don't really care that he's closing these things down. The reality is, man, they cannot stop that because it is not constitutional in the first place that those agencies should exist. PayPal link?
Yeah. Let's cut out the YouTube extortion tonight. Thank you all, Bird. Thank you very much for that. That's greatly appreciated.
Exactly. Suzanne needs to eat. Gorilla made me hungry. I'm kind of getting hungry too. Don't talk food. Resolute journalist lunch.
I had a very small lunch, so as soon as I got home, I started supper.
I ate light today. I didn't feel good today. I'm glad I had the day off because I did not feel good at all until about 3 o'clock. CODIS Fact Search also makes another point that, again, with respect to my liberal friends, I would love to hear somebody debate this point.
Yeah.
Because I agree with it. Government employees as a whole do not bring wealth into our country. They simply spend. Yeah.
There's a county right outside of Washington, D.C. There it's like the richest county in the United States here, and their only industry is government employees.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, the one thing that someone could debate CODIS Fact Search, and I don't mean to here, I definitely, I ain't got the stones right now to do that, but I could see somebody saying, well, but they do provide value by having the military and blah, 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 blah. And that's all true, but that doesn't provide wealth. We're looking at economics right now. There's no wealth generated. It may be protected by the government, but it's not generated by the government.
Well, it's not even being protected. It's getting shipped over for all kinds of BS stuff.
That's one of the things that we've been howling about for a long time and just been disregarded. Historically speaking, there's no way we're not going to have another world war within the next 20 to 30 years, according to CODIS Fact Search. I hope he's wrong, but it's hard to argue his point.
Well, I think we're coming off the brink of the World War there, even though it could probably have been considered World War because you had Israel and Hamas going at it, then they're going after Lebanon and Syria and Iran. All of Europe was putting in a couple pennies while we were sending billions of dollars over there to the Ukraine. We were just as proxy wars. We got to be
Gorilla, Mikey wants you to explain physics.
Okay.
Why did Delta Airlines come from St. Paul, Minnesota to the Toronto airport, crash, rollover, and yet there's no fatalities, which we're all grateful for? But
I'd say DEI hire, but I'm not going to be that asshole there.
Oh,
but I think but MSN MSM is blaming Trump for his FAA cuts, even though this happened in Canadian airspace, which the FFA doesn't have jurisdiction in. But it's just a luck that no one actually got hurt. He actually had somewhat trained flight attendants be able to evacuate that airplane and all that. But they're probably going to say it's equipment failure, which could have been. But I think I think it was more the pilot just came in way too fast, and when he came in that fast, it crushed the landing gear, which caused it to nosedive and roll. I haven't looked too much into it. I've only watched like one video on it, but I'd almost say it's pilot's error. Some people are saying it's DEI hire, but I'm not going to be that asshole.
Well, I when it comes to that, I don't have a dog in the fight. One, because like you say, I haven't researched it, but two, I don't know anything. I don't know enough about it being a DEI hire on one hand, but on the other hand, I feel like until Trump's been there another month, I don't think we can start blaming things on him that weren't directly caused.
These people, they're saying, why are the egg prices coming down the second day in office?
Yeah,
the guy hasn't even gotten the butt imprints into the chair yet. They're already blaming him for the egg prices.
It's a bunch of childishness, and it's on both ends a little bit because Trump did say on day one I'm going to bring down oil prices, but I hope that any educated voter realizes that he really couldn't do that. That's
And if this wasn't such a crappy shirt, I have a Let's Go. This was a Let's Go branded shirt.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go.
That was the funniest clip right there. When I never thought that would turn into a multi-billion-dollar industry. That turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry because it got put on shirts, it got put on cups, hats, and everything, just for the one gal trying to cover up what they're saying.
Stop making me hungry. Steak with mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, bread, butter, a drink.
Screw you, sit Dan.
Notice Church needs to get out of a communist city. Just donate money to me, and I know him well enough to know he is in fact in one of those communist cities.
Hey, look up there's a lot of the gunnery rates things and constitutional warriors that said these people want to move to Canada that voted for Hillary. That they'll pay their wages there. Some of the people that are sitting there complaining, I told them, well, then just move to another country. I hear North Korea and Iran are pretty nice.
They are nice. They're beautiful. We may have to play a song from North Korea. 20 years. I'm going to be 58 in 20 years. What the F? If the world happens.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah, you'll be 60. Well, I mean, that's what I've been thinking recently. I'm 53. I'm too old for this shit.
Hey, Daniel, I'll tell you the same thing my dad said. At least you'll be, Dad's been saying now with everything happening. He goes, at least I'm on the backside of my life.
Yeah, exactly. Another Trump tragedy rears its ugly head, right? Oh, Mikey, why does he hate Trump so much, I wonder? I love the guy, but I wonder why he hates Trump so much. Codis Fact Search, gotta go. Love y'all. Love you too,
sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Codis.
Be well and safe. No, Mark, no! Steamed chicken breasts, golden potatoes, stir-fried oriental vegetables. And see, here's the only thing I've gotten Stream Elements to do. It tells you to check out Sci-Fi Mommy's channel, which is great.
I'll help you set up your PayPal thing so you can have a StreamYard link for your for a tip page.
Well, I've got the PayPal link to it. I just haven't figured out how to get the Stream Elements to actually tell people that it's there.
Oh, okay.
We can do that later.
Yeah.
I hunger.
That's how I was the last half of the day. Like the guys could tell I was getting a little pissy there because I only had a little bit of hamburger helper left. But anyhow, we're just here to talk about Doge.
Doge. Okay, so you say Tim Pool. Is it on his YouTube channel or?
Yeah, but I can't remember which thing it was, and I don't want to have a timestamp or nothing.
I got you. We won't worry about it then. But yeah, it's the only criticism that I feel like does hold weight is, if he does have a conflict of interest, then okay, I can see that being something to consider.
Yeah, but so far the Doge has been the most transparent of any government agency. Try getting any info out of the CIA.
Oh yeah, tell me about, or any of them. I mean, hell. I'm
still waiting for the JFK files to drop. I'm still waiting for the Epstein. I've got my legal disclaimer ready for the Epstein list.
Oh, you do? Indeed.
Yeah, as soon as the Epstein list dropped, I got my legal disclaimer ready and everything. And welcome, Kevin Trekkie. Welcome.
And welcome indeed, Kevin Trekkie. We shall welcome the Kevin Trekkie. Hangry is a thing. With the Delta crash, it looks like it was going too slow, dropped hard on the tarmac when, due to icy and windy conditions, it flipped.
No, they came out flat out, said that there was no wind and it was dry out, and I looked at the video there. It is coming in fast.
Yeah, it was. Sorcerer Dan, is it possible you want to kick my tail for food trolling you? But hey, it's fun to do. I get it.
Hey, just remember, sit there. All I have to do is call up old Elon there. I could get your address. Someone might be getting a glitter bomb in the mail.
Daniel's Hot Topics just had bow tie pasta with ground beef, garlic, carrots, had watermelon, Mountain Dew. Too slow for a plane. I don't know.
Fast, but too slow for. I don't know. I've never been on a plane, so I can't tell you.
I've been on a plane, but I've never flown one, so I don't think I can give an intelligent a thing here. It was snowing. Toronto had a major snowstorm that day too.
Yeah, I just go by the reports I heard from Tim Pool there, and he was reading he had the videos directly from the chief of the airport police there. They're going
right on.
But anyhow,
which of these videos do you think would be most spiffy as far as what Doge has learned?
The one with Elon there with his kid picking his nose in the office.
Which one's that?
Up, other way. Down a little bit. Right there, the yellow one. Yeah.
Tremendous fraud and tremendous abuse has been found. It's the most terrible fraud that's ever been found. Nobody has ever had more terrible fraud than has been found by Doge. I can't help it. I love the guy, but I have to make fun of him. All right.
We actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization.
And this to me is one of the problems with the people who complain. Well, there's no transparency, but it's all right. All you have to do is go to Twitter. It's all right there.
Yeah. And who's this guy next to him that looks like he has a stick up his ass?
Well, he's paid to look like that. Isn't he the one that's always handing him the orders and stuff? Yeah.
No, he's the delivery boy to deliver the pen that signed off on who signed off on the release of the JFK files. He's the one that had to deliver the pen to RFK Jr.
That's fantastic. Herc 130, hail and
Hey.
welcome. A new time.
Hey,
Go ahead.
hey, Herc. Yeah, he flew C-130s, I believe.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, let us know what you know or think about the crash. Old Man Bird, 150 mile per hour on a landing is typical. There was a bad snowstorm here in Bellwood, Canada. Daniel's Hot Topics was stuck at home all day yesterday and today. Wow. All right.
Well,
Go ahead.
well, I was going to address Old Man Birds. Here's the next one.
Oh, but upside down, what the F?
Well, what happened was it came in. It looked like it landed on the right landing gear. It collapsed, and when it started turning, there it broke the wings off, but it kept rolling because the cabin's round.
I like this one from Sorcerer Dan. If Gorillas goes on a plane, people would say, "Oh, there's a monkey on the plane! There's a monkey on the plane!"
Actually, I'll be going on one in January.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you, Old Man Bird. Do you do any imitations, Gorillas? It may be the only talent I have over you. You do the music, you do the streaming.
No, I cannot do no imitations there. I know, none. Hey, stay in your lane. I actually had someone who had the Beetlejuice thing up there. They go, hey, stay in your lane. I'm telling you all, this is all a massive conspiracy here now.
What was that? What was that 1-900 number that he had? Beetlejuice. What was that? Anyway.
I can find out here in like 10 seconds.
All right, go for it. While you're doing that, Herc 130 thinks he had a low-level wind shear and his vertical velocity was too high a rate, smacked it in the ground when the wind shear subsided. Oh, wow. And Kevin Strecky, who I can't remember if I've greeted you. Hail and well met, Kevin Strecky. Replies to Herc 130 that it makes a lot of sense. Jeff B is surprised that Elon isn't bankrupt from all of his child support. You know, it takes about $100 billion to do that.
Come on, he only has like 56 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Freddy Cougar hotline 1-900-909-FRED.
Gotcha. 1-900-109-FRIEND.
Oh wait, that might not be it. That might be wrong.
Yeah, please don't call that number, by the way, people. We don't really know where that will go. So, the Phantom Boomer explores. How are you? Freezing is the season. And the Phantom Boomer replies with high clouds, but nice and warm here today. Have B5 ripped working on the Expanse tomorrow.
Nice.
And name 13 women I or you would have a baby with.
Seriously, you're making me name all my baby mamas?
Yes. I've gotten back to dating, so I'd better just plead the fifth on all that. Kevin's tricky. Yes, you have. I've been here before. Enter my full name, Kevin Loon. Oh, okay. Cool beans.
All right.
So let's see what else Trump and Musk have to say about the tremendous fraud.
The kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not. We're what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained, that organizations on the do not pay list, which takes a lot to get there, that actually are not paid, which currently they are paid. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal contracts when it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president I know has directed you to look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of account?
Okay. First, I want to know what you have to say to that, Gorillas, and then I'm going to have something to say to that.
Well, that they're not marking the payments paid. It sounds like they're just laundering money.
Well, yeah, there is that. But what I'm thinking is, okay, fine. She has a valid point. Nobody ever polices themselves well. That's the principle. But that's what the government's been doing for 60 years.
Hey, okay. No one polices themselves well. Okay. But why aren't these inspector generals going through this going, hey, what's up with this? What's up with this? That was
Good
their
question.
whole job. And then people go, well, Trump fired all these inspector generals because they weren't doing their fucking job.
Yeah. Herc 130, all 13 would be named Kate Beckinsale. And damn, Herc 130. Elon gives you a product for the money given. It doesn't go into a black hole. I would suggest that's a good point. Let's see what Elon does say about self-policing. He has quite an interesting expression here. Trump has just mastered this whole, I am unimpressed, I really don't care. That was a stupid question.
Yeah, and notice that they're hiding his kid behind the thing here. His kid's sitting there right behind the thing here.
Yes.
Right above the
man.
And everybody was running. And everybody was running with the picture of the kid picking his nose.
Yeah. Kids will do that.
Oh, come on. It's like 4 years old.
In place that would
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would have
provide
done the
any
same
transparency
thing.
for the American people.
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say like, wait a second, hey, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes. But transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency. So you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment.
Right there, that's where he
looking at
just said it.
If we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watched that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this. Now, one thing also that Elon hasn't really mentioned are the groups of people that are getting some of these payments. They're ridiculous. And we're talking about billions of dollars that we've already found. We found fraud and abuse. I would say those two words as opposed to the third word that I usually use. But in this case, fraud and abuse. It's abusive because most of these things are virtually made up, or certainly money shouldn't be sent to them.
All right. So, fraud and abuse. Elon is the most overwatched company ever. So, what do you think about Trump just obviously bullying Elon Musk here and just shoving his way into the conversation?
Well, he wanted to make the point that he wanted to make the point. He wanted to make the point there that there's going to be no conflict of interest. If there's this is exactly what people would point out. There's going to be a conflict of interest. No, you're not going to get access to that system then.
Exactly.
No. Exactly. Oh, hell no. L to the no, I tell you what.
So, like, if he's going to, and here, again, this is where I do have the concern. If he's going to audit the Pentagon, and frankly, I want him to, they will have to separate out that part that he's contracted to, although, like you say, they've already exited, but still, anyway, who have we got here? We've got LDG Free the Net. Hi.
Hey, Pickles, how's it going? Pickles, you should be getting on this Doge team here. I bet you can find this stuff a lot faster than they are.
Should I send him a link? What do you think?
It's up to you.
I trust him.
It's your stream.
I trust
your
him.
Stream.
I trust him. If he wants, he doesn't have. You don't have to, LDG. I know you're a busy man, but if you want, if I'm smart enough to find your social media again.
Yeah, and after this video, I got another one for you.
Oh,
I
okay.
sent it to you on X.
But
But this is not the full video. They're miscuing it here. They sent me the short one here when they're trying to make points that this whole D.O.G.E thing is a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
But it's a good listen to.
Gotcha. JP's Tabernacle. These peons committing fraud will never end up getting charged. That's what I'm afraid of.
Here's the thing, though. They've already tried throwing Trump in jail. They've tried the CIA tried going after with, but they set the wrong person with the bad aim there. He's not fucking around anymore. I'm waiting. AOC's already been referred to the Department of Justice for criminal charges.
Oh Lord, what? Yeah, we'll worry about that later.
Well, that falls under immigration instead of D.O.G.E.
Gotcha. All right, Sarah. Tremendous fraud. Let's skip ahead just a bit to this part.
Yeah. Who let the D.O.G.E out? Who let the? Please tell me you know that song, Curtis, because it's their. Okay,
that's the only part I know is who let the dogs out.
Yeah. It's like I remember like all these one-liners from these 90s songs, you know.
Exactly.
Except for like Stacy's mom, but it's like that hits a whole lot differently now that I'm 33 and have kids. That song hits a whole lot differently. I got a lot of questions for Stacy's mom. I'll put it that way.
At my age, a lot of moms have got it going on, but
no. Now that I'm a father there.
What are you doing with these kids?
Yeah. But Eugene, no, but aiding and abetting, or what do they call it? What do they call allusion to? Because she's gonna have a webinar on telling the illegal immigrants on how to avoid ICE and decrimination.
Oh, I got
Yeah, Tom Holman referred to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution.
Yeah, if stupid was a crime, I would have been in jail a long time ago. But anyway, all right, let's see what the Trump Meister, the Trumperino, has to say here.
It's the size of this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But if you have a contract and you're in a regular business, you end the contract in 3 months. You know it's a consultant. Here's a contract for 3 months, but it goes on for 20 years. And the guy doesn't say that he got money for 20 years. You know, they don't say it. They just keep getting checks month after month. And you have various things like that. And even much worse than that, actually, much worse. And I guess you call that incompetence, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be corruption. It could be deals made on both sides, you know, where the guy gets the money, he kicks. I think there's a lot of kickback here. I see a lot of kickback here.
There's a lot of kickback.
A tremendous kickback, because nobody could be so stupid to give out some of these contracts. So he has to get a kickback. So that's what I got elected for, that and borders and military and a lot of things, but this is a big part of it.
And I think that that's true. I mean, one of the things that caused me to change my mind and decide to go ahead and vote for him was he sounded like he was actually determined this time to clean the swamp. So, Jeff B, yes, indeed, hangry is a thing. An old man bird accessory. Got it. And the size of this thing is so big. Trump holding his hands 9 inches apart. All right. Is there anything else in this video? Let's see. It seems like
not really. They're stuttering. The kid picking his nose, and people were going on. The kid was telling him, apparently told Trump to shut up. But,
shut his mouth. Yes.
But Trump and the kid were both looking at a reporter that was trying to interrupt.
All right. What video?
Well, that's only a partial thing that they sent. So they sent there. But there's like a whole 9 minutes of the guy going off by how much this is actually saving us compared to our actual budget, blah, blah, blah. Shit.
Well, I mean, it's a point, but at the same time, we got to start somewhere. I mean, $110 billion
dollars. And what was it when we started?
Yeah, we were at 7 trillion, almost even when we started. So now we're up to 7,035 billion. So just sitting here, we've saved we've spent $35 billion and we've saved, I don't really remember now. I should have been paying attention to the clock instead of the federal spending, but I'm high. Don't mind me. I'm really not.
Yeah, high on life.
I love life. Life is good. AOC is stupid a crime now. Oh, I should have bookmarked that. I need to bookmark this, and then I'll just go back and forth. AOC is stupid a crime now.
I'm waiting to see how many I wonder if they will actually start. I would love it to see them going into like the Senate chambers there and just start handcuffing people for corruption and stuff.
Well, the Constitution, there are certain protections that they have, but I don't know if it would extend to this or not. Cat treat time before I get clawed to death. Right on.
Hey, that's why you declaw your cats.
Meow.
Right, Jethro. He's sleeping weird.
Now, where was that? Where was the real one again?
If I knew the senator's name, I'd look it up on Forbes. But the one they used was someone just clipped Forbes there. I'll keep scrolling on Forbes here and I'll find it here.
Okay, I will find something else, hopefully worthy of. Let me know when you got it.
The only problem with Forbes is they upload a video like every 10. They clip all their live streams and they upload a clip every 10 minutes. That's why I said screw it. I'm not subscribing to them.
Yeah. I watch a lot of their stuff, but I don't sub to them. Partly because I'm sure they don't need my sub. I mean, they've got 4.42 million subscribers, but here's one that I want to share at least a minute or two of. This will be Rick Scott calling out the surprising USAID funded programs.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a great hearing. Thank you, Chairman. This is a great hearing. As you know, the federal government is spending money like it's going out of style. Last year, it spent nearly $7 trillion. And the revenues were $5.2 trillion. Nobody in this country can do that. Nobody can do it in their personal life. Businesses can't do it, only the federal government. We're being forced to borrow another $1.9 trillion to make up for it. It's one of the reasons that we now have over $36 trillion worth of debt, and we're heading quickly to 37. Over the last 4 years, while the population has grown 2%, the federal government has increased spending by 53%. They've added $8 trillion to national debt in 4 years. This is not sustainable. If nothing changes, our federal government is on track to add $1 trillion to the federal debt every 180 days. The cost of this debt is another massive problem. Right now, more than $1 trillion of money that hardworking Americans pay in taxes each year is just going to pay the interest on their federal debt. That's a waste. So I'm very appreciative of what President Trump's doing and what DOGE is doing to try to find all this waste. They're going agency by agency, one by one, and find out how every single dollar is spent and making sure it's spent in the best interest of the American public. Unfortunately, many Democrats on this committee have expressed outrage, but the outrage is better suited for some of the absurd, wasteful spending they've already uncovered. Let's look at USAID.
All right. And let's see. Let's get back to the chat before I get too far ahead, and let me know when you find that video. Search for Hangry Bunny Rabbit after this stream. It appears even rabbits get hangry. Okay, I'm going to leave this on here because otherwise I will forget.
Yeah.
So essentially, yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just looking here.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Essentially, this Senator Rick Scott is grateful for the DOGE So he's telling us what his side is. He's saying that there's a democratic outrage, which there is, and I'll be blunt. There's a lot of them that I had quite a bit of respect for before this. I've lost nearly all of that because, again, the only legitimate argument that I hear is, well, there's conflict of interest. But then when you put on the other side of the scales all of this money that we're finding and saving.
Oh, and they're going to be auditing Fort Knox here.
I've heard that.
But is it going to be a thorough look at, make sure it's actual gold and not gold painted tungsten or something? Or is it going to be an audit like in, what was it, 74, where they opened up one vault, go, yep, it's there, we're good.
Yeah, I'm well, with the lawn, it'll be that. I think it'll be a real audit, but if it weren't for him, I think that's exactly what we would get is just, well, there's some gold in there. There's only three ingots left. Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. I need to.
No, I think we'll get more thorough than that.
Exactly. Let's see.
Or at least I hope it will be.
Exactly. Let's see what Rick Scott's got to say here.
They provided full funding for Al-Qaeda terrorist Anwar al-Awlaki to attend college in Colorado.
I think that's a great, in fact, I've just changed my side. I'm with the Dems now. I want terrorists to go to the University of Colorado. That's the thing we need to spend our tax money on.
They gave $310 million to start a Palestinian cement factory, which is
Palestinian cement factory. Honestly, that sounds like one of the most legit things I've heard so far.
Okay, but here's a question. Why would we spend $300 million for them to build a cement factory that as soon as it's built, Israel bombs it with the bombs we send them?
Yeah, but I mean what I say. Sadly, that sounds like the most legit thing I've heard. At least I could think, oh, cement factory, there's jobs there. They're producing a product. But you're exactly right. Within 2 days, the Israelis will just blow the crap out of that.
With our bombs.
With our bombs, yeah, exactly. So let's pay for the cement factory and the bombs to blow it up at the same time. Ha ha!
used to help Hamas build terror tunnels into Gaza. How can you be this stupid?
That's why
another
I wanted
1.5 million
this.
to advance.
How can we be this stupid?
Diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and the business communities. How does that help an American? 47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. How does that help America? 2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam. How does that help America? A multi-year study from the Middle East Forum uncovered $164 million of approved grants to radical organizations, $122 million going to groups aligned with designated terrorists. How does that help Americans? And billions more to add charities that have histories of failing to vet their terror-tied partners. The families I represent would agree that's not how they want their tax dollars spent. They'd rather have their tax dollars spent putting Americans first or advancing our interests abroad, not funding terrorism against us or allies or funding some fringe globalist agenda. So I'm very appreciative of what President Trump has done. I appreciate what D.O.G.E is doing, and I appreciate that Marco Rubio, our ex-colleague, is doing running the state.
So
I'm not being able to find this. I'm not being able to find this here. I'm already 6 days in, and it's 300 videos a freaking day here. It seems like.
Oh, geez. Let's skip ahead just a bit. Let's skip to the next gentleman. I should know who this guy is, but I cannot remember his. Michael Schellenberger. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, I've heard that name. I've heard of his name. I can't remember what he's for, though.
Right. Let's see what he has to say, whether it's pro or for or against or whatever.
Has basically been bankrolling an organization called the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, which has been in the process over the last decade and a half of really taking over so-called called independent investigative journalism around the world, usually relying on strategic leaks by the intelligence community, but with an aim to really undermine the independence of investigative journalism. When we started investigating these guys, they threatened to sue us right away. They have a $9 million fund just to sue people. It's called Reporters Shield, but it's an offensive weapon that they use to basically shut down any inquiry into what they're doing.
I love the Orwellianness of that. We're going to shield reporters, but really we're not. We're going to go after reporters, or honestly, whoever says that we're, doing something wrong. But there's no censorship. That's not happening. It's the Republicans. It's they're going after your library books with sex scenes in them. They're the ones that censor, not.
Hey, in all fairness, Curtis, their elementary kids need to learn how to eat PCs. Elementary middle schoolers really need to know how to eat PCs safely.
You have a point. You touche. Yeah.
Before anybody says anything, I'm being totally facetious on that. That shit should not be in a school. I don't think I should have to say that, but
I'm being a little bit facetious because I do know that there's controversy. Like some of these books, it kind of depends on your level of stuff. I don't know. But anyway, the point is, we have USAID. They have a $9 million fund to sue people, and somehow that's supposed to be aiding foreign countries.
Yeah. Only 90 million? Hell, in the middle of the fire there, California was able to come up with 50 million to sue Trump for shit he hasn't even done yet. Yeah,
exactly.
And hey, PvP, and hey, JPRH1.
I've got something for you, PvP. If you have the patience to listen through my harangue, I do have a video set up, inspired by the things that you shared yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
traced that USAID money to investigations that were essential to the 2019 impeachment of President Donald Trump, and then also to the Russiagate hoax, particularly spreading misinformation and malinformation about Trump's alleged ties to the Russians.
Which tells me that this is exactly why USAID was the one hopping up and down so much.
Yeah.
They were the one bankrolling all the lies. I mean, everyone says, well, that Hillary Clinton paid for it. Well, did she use her own money? I would assume not, honestly. She's smarter than that. Everybody knows you use other people's money. And
what do you think her charity's for?
Exactly correct. Okay, I am going to go ahead and look up the Hangry Bunny Rabbit. I like to keep my audience happy, but I hope that is at least a little tiny tidbit of, we may have some conflict of interest, but we have billions in waste, and we have millions that's actually weaponized against people who are speaking out. So, Hangry Rabbits. Let me see here. Hangry Rabbit. I don't think it wants to show a hangry rabbit. Rabbit, snort, and thump. Is that it? Let me see what he told me to look at. Hangry bunny rabbit. Okay. Hangry bunny rabbit. Oh, I don't know which one this should be, but I think I've seen this one. Maybe I haven't. The one I've seen, he's like throwing the empty plate all over the place. Let's see. Hangry. Oh, I think this might have been it.
girl is the nastiest skank bitch.
Oh, wow. Okay. That probably still isn't it. Hangry Bunny. Let's see if this is it. I don't think that's it. I know I've seen one where Moira Kitty shared it with me. It had like this rabbit just making a complete angry fit, but I don't see it now. Here we go. Let's at least watch the rabbit drop kicking a cat. All right. We saw a rabbit drop kick a cat. Only on Tired Blogging could you see the U.S. debt clock and an angry rabbit drop kicking a cat.
Yeah. Hey, Curse, check X after you caught up on chats.
Gotcha.
Save your pennies. They're going to be worth real money eventually. Actually, some pennies are actually worth a lot of money, depending on which year they're made, if there's any screw-ups and where they're minted.
Okay, and then what else? Do you want me to start with the Rand Paul one, or?
That's the one I sent you there.
Okay.
Well, let's get caught up on chats here before.
Yeah, let's do that. Knox was last audited in 1977. So when I was
I was off by 3 years.
Well, oh my gosh, he was off by 3 years. Oh my God. We must excoriate him. Gorilla, this has our Canadian government running for the hills, scrambling to hide the money they already hid.
Good. Maybe what's his name? Polio there can take some notes.
Schellenberger is one of the reporters that Elon gave access to for the Twitter files.
Okay, so he's along with Matt Taibbi.
That's right. See, I knew I'd seen him somewhere, but Trudeau caused the crash. Oh,
it's all Trudeau's fault. Yep.
And I haven't really properly greeted you. Welcome, PvP. Like I say, we had some stuff yesterday on Mikey Susie Ford's channel that I'm going to be sharing. So the Forbes YouTube site has too much content. Gorilla, it pops into my feed occasionally. Content or spam.
Yeah, that's why they do it. They just keep posting all these and a lot of them are just 30-second clips. I'm like, wait, you could have expanded that out and maybe combined a few of these here. Exactly. I thought I was spamming people the one day when I went down to the historical tree museum down there in where Storm Lake there, where they had all these trees grown, or they're from the seeds of these famous trees. Like one of them was Abraham Lincoln's cod, where Abraham Lincoln grew up, their house there where the log cabin was. The seed came from that tree. There's one that's over Ulysses Grant's grave. There's that one there. There's one seed. They even got a seed that went to space and back on one of the flights and stuff. I thought I was spamming the people there when I posted 47 shorts that day.
That's actually cool, though.
Yeah, I got all the shorts on my YouTube channel if you want to check them out.
Right on. And if you want to share links to anything, that's any of you people with wrenches, as long as it doesn't get crazy, feel free to share anything in that chat that you think people would find value in. People saying hi to each other. PvP, I'm having a rough day. His broken tooth has a sharp edge. It's scraping against his tongue. It makes it painful to talk, which is not fun since I talk on the phone all day. Oh, man.
PvP, what you need to do is go and get some good old American Coke there, and just keep witching your mouth out with that Coke there. That'll dull that tooth there real fast.
Yeah, true. Hangry Bunny Rabbit was a star in the Holy Grail. Look at the bones. Yeah, PvP, you need to go to a dentist. He called the dentist. They can see me Friday at 12 noon. Oh, geez. The next few days won't be fun. They can't get to me any earlier. Sorcerer Dan, that's sad to hear. Get out the pliers and pull that tooth out or schedule a dentist appointment to check and remove the broken tooth. PvP needs to work Wednesday and Thursday. Ouch. Susanna, sorry. I think we're all sorry for PvP suffering, except for the sadist in the corner. He's a rat bastard.
Yeah. Well, no, if you don't want to try the pliers or PvP, what also really helps a lot is getting to a good old-fashioned bar fight.
There you go. I'll just have to tough it out. It says PvP for a couple of days. Well, let's see what Gorillas has shared. This, by the way, is one of my favorite senators.
Yeah, he's quickly. You know, I wasn't gonna vote for Poodle Boy back in 2016, but he's grown on me.
That's exactly who I did vote for, honestly.
In the primaries?
Yeah. Was Rand Paul.
My first choice, I think, was Ben Carlson.
I understand.
I didn't know anything about Rand Paul there, and I didn't know anything about. Hey, I heard that Elon made a special invitation to Ron Paul to go audit the Fed.
Yeah! Audit the Fed. In the Fed. In the Fed. In the Fed. Or at least audit it.
Hey, Nemesis, how's it going?
Oh, hey, more people. Nemesis of Eden, welcome, welcome. That's a beautiful picture there. You'll get through this PvP. You're a tough dude. A nail file will take the sharpness away. Jeff B had braces for 3 years, and people saying.
Jeff also told him just put some wax on it. Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off.
Waste by foreign aid bureaucracy by Rand Paul. And everyone's being quiet.
The committee will come to order. Today, we are going to dive into reckless and wasteful spending of our federal government, particularly when it comes to foreign aid. The United States should not be the sugar daddy for the entire world, especially not for countries and organizations who act contrary.
You know, I take it back. I've completely changed sides. I want to be a sugar daddy so bad.
To our nation's beliefs. Our country is $36 trillion in debt. Yet we continue to send billions of dollars overseas, often funding projects that are not just useless, but in many cases actively harmful. Taking the path to fiscal responsibility is often a lonely journey, but thanks to Elon Musk and D.O.G.E, they've brought to light the waste that I've been highlighting for over the last decade. Every year I release my Festivus report to expose the ridiculous spending of the federal government, and this past year was no exception. I uncovered over $1 trillion in government waste with the State Department and USAID.
Yes, 100%.
I can fact check what he's just said there because I found videos from going back all 10 years ago when he is highlighting that we spent what was it, $189,000 to see how horny Parakeet gets on cocaine. When we could have just gone to Skid Row and did that, you know. And so he's been doing this for. He is correct.
He has
at least 7 years. At least 7 years, and he said he's Kylie for 10 years there.
I actually read his book fairly recently because I realized that I'd had it on my shelf for 8 years and hadn't read it. So I finally dug it down and read it, and it's quite enlightening. I learned a lot in that book.
USAID being some of the worst offenders. Let me give you just a few examples of what these unelected bureaucrats are spending your hard-earned money on. $4.8 million went to Ukraine's public affairs office in Kiev to fund social media influencers.
I could have used Gorillas. We could really use some of that money.
Hey, where's my cut here? Hey, you just send me a check there. I'll be a complete shill for anybody.
Hell yeah!
I will gladly whore myself out for a few bucks.
Well, depends on how much we're talking about, you know. But anyway, who needs a secure U.S. border anyway?
Instead of protecting our own border, $2.1 million was sent to Paraguay to enhance their border security.
Wait, why couldn't our
All the-
border get that much? They
Exactly.
weren't willing to spend that much on our border, but apparently but we're willing to spend $200 billion to protect Ukraine's borders.
Exactly. On the catwalk, yeah.
USAID also funded a group of Ukrainian women-led designers to travel to the Paris Fashion Show. I don't know about you, but I'd imagine Ukrainian women have more important things to worry about than appearing in the Paris Fashion Show. USAID
Their husbands and sons are only dying in a brutal war. But yeah, let's send them to a
Exactly.
fashion show.
Well, yeah, exactly. It sounds like something the old Soviet Union would do. But anyway,
Well,
that's too
No,
much.
that sounds like money laundering. They're like money laundering is what it
No,
is.
it really does, because let's face it. I mean, maybe there are some women that they still have as fashion models, but how much was that money again?
to the Paris Fashion Show. USAID also funded a group of Ukrainian women-led designers to travel to the Paris Fashion Show.
It doesn't say how much it was. So, I mean, I wish he had, because,
No, you did say it right before
Oh,
right before that.
gotcha. Okay.
USAID also funded a group of
A little bit more.
A little more? Okay.
enhance their border security. USAID also funded a group of Ukrainian women-led designers to travel to the Paris Fashion Show. I don't know about you, but I'd imagine Ukrainian women have more important things to worry about than appearing in the Paris Fashion Show. USAID spent $2 million on transgender surgeries, hormone therapy, and gender-affirming care in Guatemala.
Wait. Why?
Yes.
Why should we spend that? Why are we spending money to go castrate kids in Guatemala?
Well, because we hate Guatemala. Duh.
I mean, we always joke with our Hispanic people there by calling them Guatemalans, but come on here, I'm not that cruel.
Exactly correct.
$3 million was spent to promote girl-centric climate action in Brazil. And I'd love to picture what a conversation about girl-centered climate action looks like. It's like, hey, Barbie, do you know what girl-centered climate change is? Since when do we believe?
Yes, sir.
Wait, I can get behind this here. We get these girls all in bikinis, hopping up and down there. Talk about you could get me into this climate action speech here. You put these Brazilian women in bikinis and have them bouncing around talking about climate change. I will listen to the climate change 100% about the climate.
I know that Russell Brand found some video of some, I think it was Pfizer, but I can't remember. But one of the big pharmaceutical companies was taking South American executives to these expensive parties on these yachts, and there are all these scantily clad women running around and stuff. And it's like, these are supposed, these are the heroes and the good guys. These are the people that led us through the COVID. No, they're not. They're predatory sharks. But,
Arguments need to be tailored for girls to understand. How insulting to women at large that they think there are special arguments for girls.
Because we all know that women can't understand anything that doesn't come from the mouth of a Barbie.
To understand that are different than boys. $25,000 to fund a transgender opera in Colombia. Was nobody in Colombia willing to buy a ticket? USAID spent $32,000 in Peru to create a comic featuring a trans hero to address social and mental health issues. What is that?
Hell, we could have had them send $32,000 to LDG, and we might have the net free by now.
Hey, okay, I got a question on this. Is it an actual new character, or are they reusing an old washed out character turned into trans?
I have no idea. They probably.
Because all these people are called us homophobic and transphobic and all that, because when they're doing all this shit to like Superman and all these heroes that have been washed out and well-established characters that have been washed out, spit out, it's like, why don't you just create a whole new character? I bet you we could get right behind, people will get right behind it.
Okay, so this is a little bit off the topic, and I won't stay on it very long, but it's like the TV series Rings of Power. I kind of got into
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. If that was not presented as a Tolkien show, I actually could have loved it. Because, it's just a different take on fantasy. But when you take my very favorite fantasy story in the whole freaking existence, and then you butcher it, and you say to me that, well, you have to like it because it's woke. I'm sorry. Screw you and the horse that you rode in on. You butchered and destroyed the story. I really don't care that it's woke. I don't care at all. Just use the original material. But no, we can't do that. So.
Yeah, and you can have strong power woman. Hell, look at Ilwyn and the Peter Jackson one. She was a badass.
She was a badass. And I'm okay with Galadriel being a badass. I mean, I really am, because she is, But where's her husband that she was married to for 6,000 years at the point of the story where the story begins? Her brother, who was a amazing badass and superhero, we barely mention him. We mention that he died, but we don't say a word about the incredible, just amazing, heroic way that he died. That doesn't matter. We've got to minimize and emasculate men. We've got to take Sauron and make him some dumbass who falls for Galadriel, and she falls back. What?
Yeah,
$2,000 to fund a DEI program for a drag theater in Ecuador.
Hey, gorillas, that kind of looks a little bit like, anyway, never mind.
$20 million was spent to produce a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. USAID spent.
Go ahead.
Okay, that one's the only one so far that you can maybe make an argument for. Maybe
I can actually see, because I love Sesame Street myself. So, and I know that that's one of the reasons why Republicans are mean and bad and evil, because we're against Sesame Street. They're always trying to cut the funding for Sesame Street. But yeah, so far that's the only thing that I can kind of line up behind is that one.
And $6 million to promote a project boosting sustainable tourism in Egypt. I guess the U.S. is now the travel agent for the entire world, since they spent $50 million on Tunisia's tourism.
Right.
Even though it's...
Right, on Egypt. Like, what do they need $20 million to promote tourism for? They got these things called the pyramids. What more do you need?
Well, frankly, here's the deal. Their tourism has suffered because of the terrorism that has happened since the Arab Spring. But to me, the answer to that is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I suppose it had nothing to do with the Muslim Brotherhood.
No, I had nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Nothing to see here, citizens. Move along. 50 million in Tunisia. Go ahead.
Never even heard of what Tunisia. What the heck's even in Tunisia?
It's a North African country. It used to be part of Rome. I'm.
Oh, I know where it's at. Like, what's even there to look at? Sand dunes.
Evidently, that Colosseum right there, which
that's in Greece. That's in Greece.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they have a Colosseum. Rome was all over the place.
Is it the Colosseum you order off of Temu?
Probably. It's like on Despicable Me, they have an inflatable Coliseum.
It's already one of the most visited countries in Africa. USAID gave $87.9 million to help Afghans farm, and incidentally, farm poppy, the plant from which opium is extracted.
Okay, I'm 100% behind that. In fact, why don't we increase the amount?
Oh, are you work for the CIA now?
Maybe. Okay. My cover's been blown.
As of 2021, Afghanistan supplied 90% of the world's heroin. I thought the saying in the U.S. was just say no to drugs. How about we just say no to wasteful foreign aid? $70,000 for a live musical event to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in Ireland.
Okay,
State Department paid
okay, so that was $70,000, but it's like, oh, it's only $70,000. Well, okay, I guess I don't have to pay taxes for the next 15 years.
Well, that and like, why don't we keep it here? I mean, you want to fund, transgender things? Fine, fund them here. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm just being facetious. But
yeah.
A taxpayer-funded disc. The State Department gave $330,000 to the United Kingdom Global Disinformation Index. Interesting.
But
$330,000.
Huh?
But who determines what disinformation is?
I
Because
do.
for the longest time there, no, COVID didn't come out of a lab. That's disinformation.
Yeah.
6 months later, like how many people got suspended on YouTube for saying that? But
Yeah.
now you can say it.
And no apology. That's what burns my ass. I mean, I get, okay, fine. We made a quote unquote honest mistake. But no apology, no refunds of money, none of that. Just, oh, oops, sorry, our bad.
Hey, welcome, Booty Nudie Nick.
Ooh, hey, booty neck. Hey, in Ireland, the part that throws me off.
Yeah, should we catch up on all these chats here?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Sorry. Nemesis of Eden saying hello to Suzanne. Suzanne saying, yes, I used to have very pointy canines. Interesting. And didn't like it, so I chose to file them. So Suzanne had vampire teeth. I like it. PvP, hi Nemesis, thanks. I'll get through to Friday. Just hope they can fix it then. It broke pretty badly. They may have to extract it.
Oh yeah, and I've had that. I've had distractions there, and that bitch wouldn't give me any of the good shit.
Of course. That's brutal. I've had a tooth extracted. Worst part for me was not being able to smoke. I didn't want to get a dry socket.
Oh, I was smoking the same damn day there. But the lady when I had to get it extracted with just Novocaine. So
Sorcerer Dan is responding to our willingness to whore ourselves out to the Dems. He's saying that $278 was all it cost to get you to watch a terrible Daniel Craig movie. So Gorilla's price is not that high. Mine is at least slightly higher than that. And
frankly, hey, I'm cheap, not free.
Exactly. PvP, one thing that confuses me is the receptionist said I'd be done in an hour.
Oh,
seemed a bit quick.
Yeah, I got there about 8:30, and I was back to work by 9:10.
Suzanne says that's plenty of time for one tooth. When she worked up north in remote communities, we would pull a full set of bad teeth in 2 hours just with freezing with the patient wide awake. Wow. The tooth had been in rough shape for years. No surprise it finally gave out. Kevin's Trekkie. A lot of these woke DEI stories are just poorly written and don't take the time to build up the story. Well, that was part of my problem with the Daniel Craig movie was I didn't really see, even if you'd taken it and made it a man and a woman, I frankly wouldn't have cared what was going on. It was just so boring. No offense,
Yeah.
sir. Anyway, they
No,
just
that I take full blame, and I take full. I will take full blame and the full mocking for that because I did not do my homework. I did not do my homework.
My name is Monk. Thanks a lot. Kevin Strecky, they got to reframe Egypt as a safe place for them, so we're not afraid to visit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Jeff B. Rand Paul has been exposed to government waste.
Yeah, at least 7 years.
Suzanne, it's not just that you guys, us Canadians, are paying for these same stupid things around the globe. I know.
Yeah.
Booty duty.
Yeah. Well, we're just highlighting. We finally got someone actually going in there and doing their job.
Exactly. These foreign handouts are often idiotic. Our government here does the same thing. They throw away our tax dollars on crazy things. Mark Monikov, with all of the societal ills we have at home, we need to stop throwing money in every direction around the world. Clean up and fix everything here first. Suzanne, check out Booty Duty Nick Gaming. I need to do that. Maybe. Okay. Exactly. I need sound effects, but we'll figure all that out in time.
If you need help, just let me know. I can find you some.
Right. Like after the stream, I'd love some help with stream elements, and then I'll quit.
Well, the person to talk to on that one would be Jill, but.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, whatever you're able to help me with, then whatever you think will help best. Kevin Strecky, we Canadians have been paying the same crap. Kevin, I notice it. We all notice it, but not enough to say anything.
Yeah.
Check out Nemesis.
And I always thought it's kind of funny. Oh, they paid $80,000 for a toilet seat. Oh my God, you guys. What? They actually did? Or the one Congress.
You okay?
I'm gonna find another video. I got another video I got to find here. Keep going.
Okay. PvP thinks the Craig movie was Daniel Craig's way of giving the middle finger to Bond and the fans. I wonder about that. So while you're looking, I'm going to be playing some more of Rand Paul. Rand Paul's greatest hits on KWBY.
A disinformation index to blacklist conservative media outlets. USAID funneled over $54 million to EcoHealth Alliance, funding the very organization linked to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the likely origin of the COVID-19 pandemic. Disgraceful. $15 million was awarded to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan to distribute oral contraceptives and condoms. There's still a $3 billion fund for Afghan reconstruction that have tried to take that money to pay for other things that the government is spending money on, and yet there's been resistance by the other side to deplete that fund and say, we're done funding things in Afghanistan. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
I take it back. We need to be funding condoms for Afghanistan. It's absolutely what we must do. Civilization cannot survive if we don't fund condoms in Afghanistan.
These are taxpayer dollars being used to fund ideologically misguided, ineffective, and unnecessary projects, thanks to the blundering bureaucracy, while our own citizens struggle to put food on the table. This is not what our government was designed to do. The U.S. government is not a charity, and it should not be doling out cash to foreign organizations, some of which actively oppose the United States with no oversight. And we don't have the money to give. We're borrowing the money we send. We need to ask a simple question. Why are we borrowing money to send money overseas? Even if USAID eliminated the crazy left-wing grants for trans operas, it still makes no sense to borrow money to then turn around and send it overseas.
I think that's a good point. If we have the money, then that's a different thing. But if we're actually borrowing the money, then I would say spend it here.
Borrowing money to send as charity is like the worker who has no money left after paying for their food, rent, and gas, saying, oh, well, I see this homeless person. I have such great sympathy. I'll go to the bank and I'll borrow $1,000 to give to this person. That's what we are doing. We can't pay for our own, and we are borrowing the money we send overseas. That money could be used to pay down our $36 trillion debt and take care of the American people, the very people who actually pay these taxes in the first place. It's time for a real change. America should not continue to be the world's piggy bank. It's time to end the waste of foreign aid and end the bureaucracy and for once do what's right by the American taxpayer.
Woo, woo, woo. That is the best. I am going to create a poll. What do you guys want me to talk about on Thursday? What's 4 topics that you guys would love for me to talk about?
Which porn stars would like to bang?
No. No. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Okay, hold on. Is Trump a pervert? I'll put it that way. That way the liberals will be happy to vote for it. There's so much stuff I wanted to talk about. Now my mind is just like gone. Senator Warren.
Oh, Pocahontas.
Hypocrisy. What else?
Who's getting the kickbacks and the defense attorneys' searches skyrocketing?
Defense. All right. And one more option. What's something else? Gorillas, what would you want me to talk about?
Yeah, it's up to you. It's your show.
Daniel Craig. Dumbass or not? I know. Deep dive. Because I'm going to talk about it today, but I'm not doing a deep dive on Canada, America, relationships. Okay. All right. There we go. That's the possible topics for Thursday. I'm sorry it took me so long to do the poll, but there it is. Vote away, and whoever gets the top will.
I sent you another video. The most prudent thing I want to share is about a minute in.
Okay. So, I think Michael Waltz confronts Air Force officials with staggeringly expensive components. Got it. Okay. All right. We shall share. Staggeringly expensive. All right. A minute in. Somebody is being very emphatic about questioning. Okay.
Operate in the desert and can operate out in the corrosive environment in the Pacific. So let's talk about some of your pickup trucks. The Air Force owns and operates DOD's largest fleet of commercial derivative aircraft. They use commercial parts. This, Mr. Secretary, is a bag of bushings. This bag of bushings, stamped out by machinists, don't need a high school diploma. It's not anything high tech about this. All of this bag is compliant with the FAA specifications. How much do you think the Air Force pays for this bag of bushings?
Yeah, but let's stay positive real quick.
Okay.
Now, how much do you think you paid for it? I already know the answer.
I have no idea. Anything over $100, though, is just going to be outlandish. So I'm assuming it's even worse than that.
You're going to be crying.
I don't know if I even want to know. Okay, let's see what we got.
$90,000.
Holy mother of shit. $90,000 for that bag?
I could go straight there. I could go straight to the machinist there and probably get that whole thing for like $15.
Holy shit. You could get it at the hardware store for $20 tops. Shit.
Yeah, they
or
can go
30.
straight to a machinist and have it done for like 15.
Wow. Somebody's
And here-
pocketing some major cash.
Well, that's because nobody reviewed. This is where you get the kickbacks here. You know, they charge them $90,000. I bet you anything, 20 of that is going back into the secretary's pocket.
Yeah, somebody's getting that money. You know, somebody is.
They charge
90
90 and 20 of it goes back into the who's ever ordering its pocket. It's called a kickback.
PvP says he'd vote for the porn star one. Well, go ahead and vote for the porn star one. I've got it up there in a more politically correct vein.
$90,000 bag of bushings that you need for any jet turbine engine just to operate. So the exorbitant cost due to DoD only buying commercial parts from the OEMs, which is essentially sole source, is literally driving us out of business. I mean, the interest on our debt alone is now exceeding, for the first time in American history, the entire defense budget. We can't afford it anymore.
One of my friends who basically inspired me to end up going back to the right, he was asking me once, well, do you want a strong defense? And I do want a strong defense. And he was saying, well, then we absolutely have to deficit spend, because that's what they're told. But even if that's true, this is crazy. This is insane right here. Let's see what else he has to say.
So with FAA compliant parts, you cut the cost in half or even more. So my question is, why can't, these are commercial birds out there. By the way, it has all kinds of implications for contested logistics when you can access commercial parts in the middle of a war, potentially in the Pacific. Why can't we use FAA compliant? It's this safety standard leader in the world. Why can't we do that?
I don't know a reason why we couldn't. I'm familiar with some of the issues you're trying to raise here from my previous position.
Yeah. I know you are.
So
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, Defense Logistics Agency used to report to me. That's where we do a lot of our parts acquisition. And we had an issue when I was there with people gouging us, basically charging us too much for parts. And we ended up, I think, in court over it.
What can we, just in the interest of time, Secretary, come back to us? How can this committee help you fix that? We literally.
If you do the math, I'm trying to read this on. If you do the math, the ballpark of 5,600 folks we could have likely brought in if we had a little bit more accelerated medical processing. What does that even mean? Brigadier General. Interesting.
We can't afford.
I think that's coming up
modernization,
after this.
Oh, gotcha.
recruiting,
Yeah,
basing,
welcome.
everything.
Welcome,
yes.
Ancient One, and welcome, Booger. Yeah, no, I just wanted to point out that $9,000. I didn't listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Welcome, Booger and Ancient One. Thank you for keeping me on that chat.
Thing we need if we're paying $90,000 for a bag of bushings.
I work with Dr. LaPlante on this because it's a systemic issue. And again, most of the parts buying is done through DLA.
But you have the largest fleet of commercial birds that,
Well,
right? You've got the Ferraris, but these are the pickup trucks, and we should just be able
what
to
we
buy
have to
from.
be able to do is challenge the prices. We have to have knowledgeable buyers who can understand when they're getting a ridiculous price and go in and ensure that they get.
Let's work
data
together on that. I just
price.
need, in the interest of time, I just want to move again to the recruiting and the Genesis program. I have here a quote that was given during the Air and Space Forces Association Air Warfare Symposium that basically says, if you do the math, you're somewhere in the ballpark of 5,600 folks that we could have likely brought on if they weren't waiting on a medical approval, right?
All right. Is that a thing that merits our attention, or do you think we could move on to the next thing? I think we will move on to the next thing. And let me go ahead and get caught up in the chat. So much chat. I love it. You could label the stream "Porn Stars Best Bangs." If only YouTube would let us do that. The Canadian shunning of American products. Yes.
Yeah, telling me you're a black trans lesbian who they'll let you get away with anything.
Well, I am a black trans lesbian, didn't you know? I mean, it doesn't matter that I'm as pale as a ghost. I identify as a black man. And it doesn't matter that I don't have any soul or can't rap worth a darn. I identify. PvP is being told by Sorcerer Dan, want porn stars that have natural big or enhanced big jugs to show off. See, why aren't our federal dollars going into that? I could get behind that. $90,000 for big jugs. All right.
Yeah, and it really lift up a person.
Exactly. Improve that American morale. I mean, why didn't the Democrats? They could have still won. Just parade out a bunch of hot chicks. The whole thing is a mob racket, paying for protection and robbed in the process.
We're not even getting the protection.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff B, $2.99 at Home Depot. Kevin's Trekkie, I think it's one of the most un-Canadian things to push back by booing during the national anthem. Ooh. You mean Canada's or ours?
Yeah.
Either one would piss me off.
Yeah, really. But there within the first 2 minutes of that game, though, there was three ass whoopings getting handed out, though.
Yeah. I don't think politics should be taken this far to hate our neighbor. I agree with that. Businesses didn't do it.
Well, no, actually, here's the thing you gotta understand about Trump is those 25% tariffs. They were meant as it's called the big ask, and he's doing that big ask there to push Trudeau into doing what apparently him and Biden already agreed to do, but he wasn't implementing it. So okay, let's implement this plan. If not, 25% tariffs on everything.
We're actually going to be segueing after the next video. I think, yeah, we're going to watch one more video and then segue into that Canadian stuff, even though it's not necessarily related. Booger, don't you remember the line from Judd Hirsch in Independence Day? That's how they funded Area 51.
Yeah.
$90,000 corruption much? PvP, what I've learned from history is that a lot of leaders' governments are batshit crazy. An Ancient One being a wonderful wrench person here. So, yes, please check out Gorillas and...
Oh, but you guys make sure to check out Curtis here. He's very informative. He has topics that I gotta say. I'll always say this. Curtis has the politest political chat I've ever been in.
Well, I just try to not be completely insulting, and I also know that just because I think I know something, that doesn't mean that you don't. If I listen, I may learn something, but if all I do is steamroll over you, all I do is piss you off. So big naturals can be nice. PvP can't stand fake boobs. Remember that one special of Star Trek with a Gorn star? That's fantastic.
Comment of the night right there.
That's going to be clipped. That's going to be clipped.
Pun of the night. Pun of the night. Yeah, Booger, you got the pun of the night.
The episode with the Gorn star. I think the Fed should fund babes to date me. Hell yeah. And lemon pie.
Hey, PvP, you just got to go lobby a couple of your, what do they call them up there? You guys don't call them senators or representatives. What do you guys call them?
Members of Parliament.
Yeah, you just got to go lobby them and grease their palms a little bit.
Yes.
It's, hey, Scurvy, how's it going?
I was. Who did I miss? Did I miss somebody?
Scurvy. He says, "Hey, fruit cakes and Fruit Loops."
Oh, yay! Hey! Is that his? Oh, scurvy. I get it. Durr.
that took a couple weeks to get narrowed down, but it started out as a joke and it just kind of stuck. Kind of like Gorilla for me started with me being an asshole and it just stuck. This whole Gorilla thing just started as me being an asshole and it just stuck.
Well, I'm glad that it's gone well. PvP was disgusted at those ignorant hockey fans booing the national anthem, and yeah, I do appreciate that Trump has said some things that upset you guys, but I also appreciate that there's no point in taking it to the point of booing. So I appreciate you. You're a wonderful person. Some Canadians are so uninformed they don't know what's really going on. And that's true of America too. PvP, that was weird. I'm glad you disapprove. I'd also have a problem with people booing you. Yeah, 100%. The more I'm meeting people from Canada, the more I'm loving Canada. I see no reason to boo the Canadian national anthem. That's why the corrupt liberals will still get votes after 9 years of ruining Canada. Scurvy preventer. All right. Well, this is another video that you shared. A Republican telling his colleagues how little all these benefits will actually do.
Yeah, it's only half of it, but I think you'll probably get the gist of it.
Gotcha. So the first half of it is what we need?
No, it's only half of the 9 minutes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Tom Powell Jr. This is a creator I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, no, but the original video I'm pretty sure was on Forbes. He's one of those. He'll take a video and he'll bounce right off of another YouTube creator.
Oh, okay. I got you. Let's see what he has to say.
Straight from a Republican's mouth. How cutting all of this spending that they're talking about cutting won't do jack shit. Watch this.
Hey, you know what? Let's totally disregard everything that liberals and Democrats have been saying.
Yeah, fast forward it.
Okay, where to? Here?
Till he gets to the congressperson in the video. Right.
Okay.
This Republican has to say. Last night I could barely sleep because I had read report after report after report. And the math was devastating. If you add it all up, by 2035, you have over $74 trillion in debt. That 40,000 federal employees leaving is a single day of borrowing. Yet I watched someone on television last night saying, well, look, we're going to make a huge dent in the U.S. deficit with these 40,000 taking early retirement. It's 1 day of borrowing. Okay, so someone yesterday said, okay, let's get rid of the federal subsidy on tax-exempt bonds for stadiums. Okay, great. We calculate that's about 6 or 7 seconds of borrowing for a year. Really popular ones. Department of Education salaries. So if you get rid of the Department of Education salaries, and I think this is all of them, is about $2.75 billion. 9 hours of borrowing.
This is crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Went sudden AFK, but I'm back. We'll go AFK again soon for the good stuff. AFK. I'm stupid. What's that mean? Sorry.
Away from keyboard.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Had this the other day. Let's get rid of healthcare for those who are here illegally. This is the emergency services for undocumented. So we calculate that to be about 2.1 billion a year. This is the emergency healthcare on undocumented. Okay, got you another 9 hours. So let's actually go to something a little bigger. Let's get rid of the foreign aid. Okay, foreign aid's gone. You got yourself a week. How many times those of us on the right, I've been in a debate with another Republican, if we just didn't have foreign aid, we'd be fine. Okay. Now, you've got to deal with the reality of what that does to our military, our footprint in the world, protecting the reserve currency. Why are we the reserve currency? Because we have a footprint, we protect the trade routes, but look, you should know that from your history. But you just wiped it out. You just covered a week of borrowing.
So that begs the question, though, where is all the money going? And of course, I think we're finding out where some of it's going anyway. But one other thing I want to point out, USAID very technically is not the federal government. That's the whole horrible shiftiness of all this. They're able to say, well, the government's not doing it, USAID is, and then ignore the fact that all that money is coming from the government.
The famous pie chart. Everything a member of Congress votes on is borrowed money. Every dime in defense is borrowed money. Every dime in non-defense discretionary is borrowed money. I think last fiscal year, $400 billion of earned benefits.
Now pay attention to what he says right here.
So let's actually now have the other thing where I'm going to start to really make a couple of my brothers and sisters annoyed around here. United States, according to the Census Bureau from last month, will have more deaths than births in 8 years.
Elon Musk has been pointing this out for quite a while, that our birth rates are just not sustainable. In other words, we aren't having children at a rate that's enough to replace the funding needed for the elderly later on.
Not a single country in the world, and this is not just the United States, it's basically all the industrialized countries, and much of the world is way ahead of us in this almost dystopian collapse of there being young people. The other stupidity we engage in this country is we educate people in our fine universities, and we send them home to compete with us. Wall Street Journal today actually has an article on drug discovery and drug research and how fast China is basically competing with us now and new biologics and those things. And the basic premise is that we educate.
And we not only did we educate them, we funded them. That's something else we've learned recently. Have I lost everybody? You went silent, Gorilla.
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I don't want to talk over this asshole talking.
I understand.
Educated the very people that are competing with us because we sent them home because we're idiots. And yet I will get folks who will now, right now, pounding out texts saying, but I don't want foreigners in there. Do you want us to be able to pay your Medicare bills? Turns out, as an economist, you can't hit the number without a talent-based, STEM-based immigration system. You just can't. Because here's your problem. We built the models. So if we're going to extend expensing for research and development, so we're doing things better, faster, cheaper. What happens when the very companies that are doing that, the research labs that are doing it, continue to show up in my office and say, we can't get enough people. We're being squeezed. We're going to have to do part of the research on the other side of the world. Have we lost our minds? Oh, but David, you can't tell that. That will upset someone. Because, and this chart I know is almost impossible to read. Its punchline is very simple.
And what is the punchline?
Unless we have this productivity spike, we're going to get poorer.
Well, it sounds like this has more to do with our immigration policies. That and our population, our declining population issue. But I mean, what the hell are they going to do? Force girls to have more babies?
Okay, that was interesting.
Yeah,
right.
but that's only part of the video. I don't even know. I can't remember that senator's name there to go look it up.
Right on. Let's see. Taking a quick look at the poll right now, Senator Warren's hypocrisy is number one at 56%. 22% want a deep dive on the Canadian and American relationship. And then there's probably 1 or 2 votes each for is Trump a pervert and who is getting kickbacks. Let's see, PvP, there are so many layers of corruption now globally. I do wonder if we can turn things around to get accountability from the leaders.
Well, it could, but it might require us to party like it's 1776.
I wonder about that. I do. I don't know that I don't know that I have it in me because I'm an old fart now, but I wonder about that. Suzanne, PvP, I lay awake for a minute. You're calling on the government to buy you women. Yes.
Yes. Call them out, Suzanne. Call them out.
PvP needs women. Booger, no, we're just listening intently. Okay, good. PvP, to tell the honest truth, I have zero clue how the liberals are getting votes. Well, it's called printing them out.
I'm Suzanne,
being facetious.
Suzanne, here in the 2020 election, our Democrats were in a huge uproar there because we started putting fences around the cemeteries there because they're calling it what was it? They're trying to block their voters from getting to the polls.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. And PvP, dropping birth rates in Western countries are a big problem. This was one of the other issues, though, that I differ with my so-called liberal friends. And not because they're so-called friends, but they're so-called liberals. I remember listening to one of them, and they were like, well, I know that all the populations are dropping, but I think that's going to be a good thing. And I kept my mouth shut, but I was like, we're already having trouble coming up with money for the elderly. What are we going to do when it's our time and there's maybe one kid for every 8 or 10 or 20 elderly? How will they pay for that? PvP's sense of humor gets him in trouble. I would say party like it's 1812, but I won't due to our northern friends. And Suzanne, they started off. Yes, go ahead.
1812. I think you're more thinking 1860 if you're talking about northern. Oh wait! Did we try to make Canada in 1812 there and failed miserably?
Yes.
Never mind.
The War of 1812. Part of that was we were trying to annex Canada. So, in
1776, Quebec could have been. I think it was either Quebec or Ontario could have been our 14th colony.
Well, that was part of the effort in the Revolution, but also that was part of the original. Before we had the Constitution, we had the Articles of Confederation, and part of the Articles of Confederation was that Canada was welcome to join us anytime they wanted to. That's not in the Constitution, but if you want to be, anyway. Suzanne, they started to offer women a baby bonus. That's why child tax was called $5 back in wartime. That was a lot of money. So people started having babies. PvP, there's a certain religion. It's currently flooding into Western countries and having many children. Once they're the majority of the population, they will impose their values and laws on us. I know that there's liberal friends of mine who howl racism whenever somebody says that, but I think it's demonstrable that that's true.
Well, you have to take the Steven Crowder to it. He goes, does it make me racist? So be it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Nemesis of Eden, we just get renewed after a certain age in the future. Yes. Further north. Nemesis, we need to have a chat someday. I have a theory. And Ancient One, be right back for the good stuff. Okay. So, do you have anything, Gorillas, before I do my segue into Canada?
Well, all I want to say is say is, yeah, this Doge is it's just a drop in the bucket. But with this, like with Doge, and one thing I did find out though, I do not know how true this is. Someone can fact check me on it. But there is an actual literal reason why Trump is so insistent on renaming the Gulf of America. It wasn't as a middle finger to Mexico or nothing, but it has to do. But it has to do with the way these contracts and regulations are written out. That
Really?
the way they're written is all these regulations and contracts and that apply to the Gulf of Mexico, not the Gulf of America.
See, I had another take on it. And I'm trying to decide. And since you're the more experienced streamer, I'll ask you. I have a couple of points I wanted to make about Trump's rhetoric, basically as it pertains to Gulf of America and Canada. Do you think I should be sharing the Canadian information that PvP shared and then make my points, or should I make the points and then share the information?
It doesn't really matter if you're going to show both points.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to share the 2 points. And just consider this. These are my own thoughts. And so if they're right, then I'm brilliant. And if they're wrong, well, I'm just a dumb blogger. But I should have bookmarked it. But there was a press conference, and Trump's press secretary lady, who I'm actually loving, but she was saying something about how Google was going to be sued because they refused to comply with renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And I was talking to a conservative friend of mine, and it suddenly dawned on me because of something that he said. I wish I could remember what he said, but Trump he's basically giving the left the medicine that they deserve. And where I'm going with this is, how long were we censored and how long were we mocked and castigated because we had questions about the vaccine? We talked, about vaccines using different definitions than they did because we were using the definitions before they'd been arbitrarily changed in the internet. Maybe Trump is just trying to give that medicine back to them, only he's using something that's not actually intellectually stupid. In other words, you can change that Gulf to be anything you want. It's not going to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But if you change the definition of a vaccine, you basically changed the science.
Yeah, no, but it made sense what they're saying there. By renaming the Gulf to the Gulf of America, they're null and voids a lot of these regulations and
that's true.
and stuff there. So if people want to take them to court, sue me. I'll see you in court in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
By that time, you'll see how much more stuff I can cut while you're waiting to get a court date.
The second point, I am going to wait, but please remind me, because my mind is a sieve, to make the point. But it was inspired by what PvP shared, and also I want to throw what olive branch I can across to Canada without. And this is the difficulty. I still want to be loyal to Trump. I still want to, Trump's the leader. He's doing the right thing, blah, blah, blah. But having said that, let's not piss all over Canada, and be shitty to them. Let me get caught up in the chat. And then if you have a point, I'll let you make it. And then I'm going to share a little bit of a video that PVB had shared. Look at the United Kingdom. It's scary. Suzanne, I think once you're polarized by ideology, no matter how crazy the liberal ideas are, They sound great to that side. They do. My friends are just they'll say these liberal talking points, and they sound wonderful to them, and they sound scary as shit to me. John Potterero, welcome, welcome. It is the AP that is doing that. They're not allowed back until they recognize the Gulf of America. But again, I think that because, journalists lost their credentials because they asked the wrong questions about COVID, I think he's just doing that. PvP, I wish Trump would quit the Gulf of America and 51st state stuff. I get why he does it, to give a middle finger to the left, but it's a counterproductive distraction. I hope Trump will get back on track fixing real problems. Yeah. Ancient One is back with pizza. I'm going to have to eat when the stream's done. I want 2 slices, Ancient One.
Sorry, I started that. but the Gulf of America thing, once I got to explain that, I was like, that's actually halfway fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the words of Como, if the people want to sue for that, he goes, fine, we'll do the Como's way there. Change 2 words in the damn thing and tell them to sue me. I'll see you in 3 months. Then I'll change 2 more words and sue you. And then you can sue me again.
Exactly. Well, it's something the left's always done, so we need to learn how to do it too. Once you start figuring out the rules and then winning by the rules change and the whole board switches, and you can never get your feet under you. You look at the city that Kevin Strecky lives in, the entire province is conservative, but the city votes NDP. Go figure. PvP, that's what I hope Trump would do. Suzanne, PvP, I agree that he works well with Pierre. Hail FKHC 2005, the one they call Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Crap. Ancient One gives everyone in the live chat a slice of pizza. Woohoo! Except for those who are in league with the shredder. Dang it. I wish people would quit messaging me. Pierre is great. He gives us chocolate cake. Kevin, what province are you in? Ancient One, whenever I'm giving out pizza for the live chat to power up the live stream pizza power, better hope you're not in league with Shredder, or the pizza will ninja vanish the moment you touch it. Tim, Trump the perv, not like the last guy was. Exactly. Kevin Strecky is in Alberta. PvP, his Saturday rally in Ottawa on Saturday was very inspiring. He's so intelligent and thinks on his feet, and like Trump, can be funny too. Kevin Strecky, if you didn't know, the NDP is a socialist party. I didn't know. I kind of assumed so, but I'm glad that you confirmed that. And Suzanne, Kevin, we are blue Saskatchewan. So
hey, there you go, Curtis. You could have a live stream in there on different forms of government. Like which ones are better? Which one's better? You know, we got like our republic there. Where you got the parliamentary system. There you got the dictatorships, the communist governments. You know.
Well, it is a good question. In fact, it's almost the question.
Yeah, like I've heard because me and Jason were talking about this quite a bit. He said, no, you do not want a parliamentary system, but it also it can somewhat make sense there. You got more parties, but then instead of requiring 50% of the population to be stupid, you only need like 20%.
Well, the parliamentary system, as much as we may be cussing it, it was brilliant as far as advancing toward freedom at the time it came about. Back in 1200, 1300 AD, that was a ground-breaking move toward liberty.
Yeah, the only reason that it didn't that it started in England, I believe, and that's only so the king would get his head chopped off.
Exactly. PvP, NDP has become nothing more than bootlicking lackeys supporting the liberals. And Suzanne, so far the voting map has MU province being the only one
Wait,
completely.
wait, who called PvP a lackey here?
I did.
Oh,
No,
the NDP. I thought someone said PvP has become a bootleg lackey. I was like, nah, I gotta stick up for. I'll have to stick up for PvP here a little bit.
Yes, 100%. The NDP leader is a disgrace.
Okay. Good. Haven't had a PvP there. I thought it said PvP. I thought you said PvP was a bootleg.
Kevin's Trekkie PvP. Yes, we know it's a pointless party. Jags me is just a liar. So I want to share. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I wanted to at least share a little bit about PvP, of what PvP shared, and partly because I want to show that I want to talk about Canada, but I also want to segue it from the Doge argument, because the big argument that everybody makes is Ylan is unelected and therefore this is all a big pile of poop. And I don't think that's a legitimate argument, but we do all know that the other side has been using hundreds, if not thousands, of unelected bureaucrats to control us for 50 or 60 years. And that is dangerous. And some of that's going on in Canada. And I wanted to share something that PvP had shared with me. This is Michelle Rempel Garner. If y'all feel so moved, I would love if y'all would subscribe to her, and let's give a intelligent Canadian member of Parliament some love here. But let's see what she has to say about an unelected Liberal man getting secret briefings while Parliament is shuttered.
Many of you have written to me either in comments or to my constituency office or on Twitter. Many of you have asked this week a question that, frankly, I'm not even sure I have the answer to, but I want to break it down for you because this is an issue that has not gotten a lot of mainstream media attention, but it's an important one. And that is that there is an unelected Liberal man who is apparently getting secret briefings from while Parliament is prorogued. And that, of course, that unelected man is Mark Carney. I'm going to break this issue down for you, what I know, what my concerns are, what I'm kind of hearing, and why I think this is happening. Before I do that, though, you guys know that Parliament's prorogued, so the Liberals don't want my voice to be out there. They don't want me telling you what I'm hearing, what's happening, raising my concerns. The Liberals have Bill C-18, C-11. These are censorship bills, which provide news bans.
I'll skip a little bit of that, but that is horseshit. That basically the same censorship machine that has basically destroyed Britain and tried to corral the United States is silencing this woman. That sucks. Let's see. Let's skip to this part here.
It is free and it allows me to directly communicate with you. Okay, so Mark Carney getting briefing. So last week, in the middle of the American trade tariff threat, Mark Carney, who is sort of being coronated to be the Liberal leader, he made a comment that he was getting briefed by Liberal cabinet ministers on this issue. Now, to take a step back and reemphasize, Mark Carney is not elected. He's not a parliamentarian. He's never held elected office. He's never put his name on a ballot. I don't even think he's knocked a door of a normal person in Canada. So this is not somebody who holds office. However, the Liberal leadership race is going to select the next Prime Minister of Canada. It's this very strange thing that a completely unelected man could become Prime Minister of Canada, but that doesn't afford him the right to have secret meetings with or briefings with Liberal cabinet ministers. So he came out and he bragged about this on national news. And that sort of raised a lot of alarm bells for people, and rightly so, because first of all, he's unelected, so he wouldn't have gone through secret clearance. The second thing is that he has a lot of you know, we don't know what some of his conflicts of interest might be. He's held senior board appointments on a lot of really big multi-billion-dollar companies. We don't know what his compensation package looked at. So he hasn't gone through the traditional ethics screening route.
So essentially, Canada has the anti Elon Musk. They have someone who is getting all this information and possibly is going to be the next, like literally will possibly be the next prime minister, whereas Elon, short of a constitutional amendment or a coup, cannot be the next president. And the same media that's hopping up and down about Elon, crickets. I never heard of any of this until PvP shared this information.
That somebody like me, a member of parliament, would have to go through, right? He's also not subject, well, we don't know this. He might be, we don't know, to some of the accountability mechanisms that public office holders are supposed to be accountable to. The same time, though, for the last 5 years, he's been advising the Liberal Party in senior capacities. In 2020, he was named as Justin Trudeau and the Liberals' COVID-19 advisory committee something.
Well, hell, that's a red flag right there.
Then he was a senior economic advisor. Last fall, he was announced that he was essentially going to be coming up with the Liberals' economic fiscal policies. So you have this unelected man that has all of these super big connections to these big companies who's saying that he's getting briefings from cabinet ministers on the trade issue. Now, at the same time, the Liberals have done what? They've locked me out of parliament. So I've gone through elections. I've gained pluralities.
And let me know if I'm wrong, PvP, but this is an actual member of parliament. So essentially, this would be the same thing as if Elon was basically locking congressmen out of their offices.
Yeah, it'd be like locking AOC out of her office.
Yeah.
Even though she might be getting locked out here pretty soon here if that criminal probe goes through.
Kevin Strecky, Carney is just pure evil. He ruined Britain's economy. And I thought about sharing that too, because PvP shared that video and I watched it today. But yeah, he ruined Britain's economy. He will likely become prime minister. It shows how our electoral system is so corrupt. Come on.
Majority pluralities in my riding. And I can't go into parliament to raise questions in parliamentary committees. I don't know what's going on. I can't, they have completely shut me out. And so by virtue of shutting me out, they've shut 120,000 people. And think about how many people that is. Like if you've ever been to a hockey game or a football game, think about how many people that facility holds and then multiply it to get to 120,000 people. That's how many people that Justin Trudeau has silenced by shutting me out of parliament, right? And all of my colleagues. But yet somehow Mark Carney is getting, and bragging about it, getting briefings from.
I got to tell you, I didn't know anything about this guy. So I decided that I would look up a photo. Let's see. Here we go. This is the infamous Carney. I just got to tell you, it's terrible that he's doing this to Canada. Isn't it bad enough that he destroyed the Star Wars holiday special? I just can't believe it. And here this Wookiee is a complicit, wicked ally. Okay, sorry, the joke didn't land. But anyway, back to the
I
series.
don't even know who that was.
Oh, damn. Okay, so have you seen the Star Wars holiday special?
I think Troy showed it. Shows
Yes.
it every year, but he tends to show it on the nights I get really drunk.
Okay. Well, that was a picture of Art Carney.
Oh,
So
okay.
That's why that's funny. Honest, that's funny.
It's a joke. It's a Star Wars fans joke. I bet you
Yes.
Sci-Fi Sit they got it.
Yeah, I hope he did. Meanwhile, PvP, Mark Carney is scary. He's a globalist, friend of the WEF. He was the head of the Bank of England for a decade, more than $1 million salary each. One of the past prime ministers had harsh words. So PvP got the joke. Ha ha! Art Carney was one of the greats of the Star Wars Holiday Special. So 2 people got the joke. Huzzah! He's the shopkeeper spy. Art Carney, what's the 50s Honeymooners? Great comedy series. Right on, right on. All right, back to Michelle Garner's talk about this wonderful Carney person.
Cabinet ministers. So some of you have said, like, well, what do you think about this? Well, obviously that's ridiculous. It's crazy. There was a column that was written in the National Post about this week, but the mainstream media is just crickets on this. In fact, there was a Rosemary Barton on the CBC had a panel where she was kind of repeating liberal talking points, saying like, well, you know, we don't really need Parliament, right? So, folks, this is wrong. The long and the short of it is, for those of you who have written me, yeah, I know about this, and it is wrong. And it's also wrong that the public doesn't have a bigger understanding of what's happening here, right? You've got an unelected man who hasn't gone through ethics screenings, who has major board appointments and compensation packages and stuff from, or it's
another difference between this gentleman and Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not being compensated for any of this.
Yeah.
Him in the past, I don't know, from these big companies. He's been advising the Liberal government for years. A lot of the Liberals' policies have been his. He's about to become prime minister without being elected, and Parliament is shuttered. So what does that sound like to you? Does it sound like a democracy? Of course it doesn't. So folks, what I want to say to you is this. You know, when you watch, or when you think about, you know, a country facing a really serious crisis, or facing, like, you know, sort of some big apocalyptic moment, you often think about like these Hollywood blockbusters where aliens come in and do something, right? But this is a slow boil situation where our country is being eroded from the inside, drip by drip by drip by drip. And you've got national broadcasters normalizing this situation, even through their silence, right? And this is not normal. In a democracy, we shouldn't have an unelected man getting briefings from cabinet ministers when he doesn't have a security clearance. He's been advising the Liberal government on policies while he's held senior board appointments, and while I am locked out of Parliament. I can't ask parliamentary, I can't use parliamentary committees to get to some of the bottom of these issues. So folks, this is actually one of those scenarios where our democracy is being eroded. And like, if you think this is fine, you are wrong. You are very wrong. So,
and at least from the limited amount of knowledge I have, I agree.
Yeah. Can I play devil's advocate for only knowing this from what she's saying?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay, what was this guy's job beforehand? Because she keeps calling him an unelected person, you know, getting clearances and all that. But what was his job? Because we got plenty of CIA people, we got plenty of FBI agents, and plenty of IRS agents that have access to all kinds of information that we never elected.
That's
so
true.
What was it? What was his job beforehand? Was he an actual member of government,
PvP,
or is he just some random guy off the street who has money?
PvP, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say he was the head of the Bank of England, is what he was.
Okay, so some asshole with money.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, if, again, playing devil's advocate, we could make the same complaint about Elon, you know.
Yeah, but he was appointed by the president there, who has had security clearances. He had security clearances because of his contract with the government there. He had to have certain security clearances.
Exactly. It is, to me, a different thing, but I guarantee you, if this wasn't being silenced, the liberals would be hopping up and down saying, well, it's the same thing. We can't be mad at Carney because he's just doing what Elon Musk is doing. And no, he's not. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
PvP, there's an infamous photo on X of Carney posing in a goal like he's playing road hockey in $2,000 shoes. He's a real guy that cares about the average folks like me. Yeah. And you're welcome, PvP. Thank you for sharing it, because I hope I learned a little bit.
Yeah, and I just wanted to be there because I don't. It's like I'm just from the,
No,
this is the only
yeah,
thing
I don't
I've
take it
heard
that
from
way.
her, and it's like taking one person's side from there and all. And the one thing they say, there's two people that get paid to lie, weathermen and politicians.
Yes.
So it's like,
Yes.
who is this guy? Like, I need to know more of his side.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. I really know very little more than this about it, but the like I say, PvP had shared a few videos, and I watched most of them. And I'm going to end, maybe not the stream necessarily, but I'm going to end the videos that I have for the stream with one more that PvP had shared. And when I play this, I want you to think about something. This is the second point I want to make about Trump. When he said the stuff about Canada, and I think most of us agree, probably a few of us agree that it's funny, but I think most of us agree that really Trump does not want Canada, not in the way that he's being blamed of. If Canada wants to join us, amen.
Hey, I bet you if we guarantee that they'll get to keep the healthcare system that they're on, their provincial healthcare system that their province sets up. I bet you a good 40% will say, "Fuck it, let's join."
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I mean, PvP would know better than any of us, but I do think that.
Well, we got quite a few Canadians in the chat that would know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Kevin Strecky and
Suzanne, nemesis of Ed. We got the whole representation from a lot of provinces there. We got BC, we got Alberta, we got Saskatchewan. I'm not sure about Kevin.
Right.
Booger, I think. Booger, are you? No, you might be. You're either from the South or you're from Canada. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank now.
Right. Kevin Strecky, as good as these videos are, they're only preaching to the converted. I don't think liberals see this or change their minds. And I agree, but all I can do is all I can do, and I can share it on my video, and maybe a liberal will watch it, maybe they won't. I know that without meaning to be weird about it, I'm getting more viewers all the time, and a lot of them are good, classical liberal people. They're people that believed in the old liberal ideals of freedom of speech and freedom of thought, and that the government shouldn't be running our lives. That style of liberal. And that's the liberal I want to talk to. I don't care about the ones. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care, but I realize that I'm wasting my breath trying to talk to the ones that literally don't have anything in their minds other than just Democrat talking points. And to be fair, there's probably 40% of people on the other side. All they've got in their head is Republican talking points. But the whole point of this channel has been to try to, one, to figure out the truth, and two, to try to build a bridge between those on both sides who are willing to listen to each other as long as it's respectful, and are willing to try to figure out, well, what are the issues and what are our real differences, and also where do we agree and how can we make the world better, working together on the things that we agree about. But I do get your point, Kevins. I do. PvP, another thing to note, he is a climate change fanatic, loves the carbon tax, wants it higher to add to the cost of everything. Suzanne, great work throwing this stuff at Curtis. Kevin said he was also from Alberta. Okay. So Canadians walk among us. Carney's saying he will only put the carbon tax on big polluters. The cost won't trickle down. Such BS. Kevin Strecky, I'm Albertan, raised in British Columbia, however, but been in Alberta 20 years now. Nemesis is in some Canadian province. PvP, he supported the blocking of the Northern Gateway and Energy East pipelines. That would have carried our oil and natural gas to get world markets At the same time, he made money on foreign oil. Lemon pie is an American. I say Canada becoming part of the U.S. would not benefit America or Canada. It's not going to happen anyhow. PVP, he has invested in oil in Venezuela and the United Arab Emirates. Lemon pie, what's the argument for it? I've never heard one. And I'm not going to make an argument for it. My argument is I think that Trump has a different purpose for having said the things that he said than maybe any of us have been aware of. And that doesn't mean I'm not in any way trying to change your minds when it comes to being upset about what he said. I'm not trying to say that Canadians shouldn't be concerned about the things Trump said, or that they should just ignore it and poo-poo it and drink Kool-Aid and, oh, Trump is the great king, kumbaya, my Trump, kumbaya, you know. But I want to play something here, and I want you to just be thinking, what was Trump possibly trying to accomplish when he said those things to Trudeau? All right, let us play this. And even if you don't agree with me, I think you will all love what I'm about to play. This is Canada Worth Fighting For, Poilievre's powerful, inspiring speech at the Canada First rally. And I just want to play a few minutes of it. Maybe.
Soft-spoken and humble for our own good. We fought on the same side of the same wars. We paid with Canadian lives and treasure to fight for America, avenging the 9/11 attacks. You have your grievance with us. We have ours with you. But I would ask you this question. Which other country would you rather have as your neighbor? And if Canada is not your friend, who is? See, the problem is at times we might be too polite, soft-spoken, and humble for our own good. We are slow to anger and quick to forgive, but never confuse our kindness with weakness.
Okay, let me pause it for a bit, partly because of the copyright strikes, and also to let you guys kind of just think about what this gentleman has just said. It can't. We're part of the United Kingdom, being a Commonwealth state. Yeah, it would take the logistics would just. It would take some constitution breaking things on both sides to negotiate that. Sorcerer down. Classical liberals are now considered to be on the right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. As a moderate to a moderate conservative now, the U.S. has moved so far to the left. War on Canada is a war on the King of England, which has every Commonwealth country ready to fight for it. Agreed. That's the truth. And there's not going to be a war over it. No, I unless I am completely baffled about Trump, there's definitely not going to be a war to take over Canada. Sorcerer Dan, I've talked to a few conservatives and hardcore far-right wings like Resolute Germ. They say I'm more moderate to moderate conservative, given how I still use common sense. Yeah, that seems to be the way it is. And Suzanne saying her example did not mean a war with the United States. PVP is saying Carney said he will raise the carbon tax on big companies like steel producers. Does he not realize steel is almost everything, and steel companies would raise prices to consumers? And before I play any more of this, Gorillas, what do you think about what Mr. Poilievre has said here?
Well, it should be Canada first.
Yes.
Every country should think of their own country first and negotiate on the basis that you think that your country should be first.
Yes.
Oh,
No, yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt
that's
you.
about all I wanted to say.
Can we contrast this guy to Trudeau? I mean, just let's not be logical for just 20 seconds. When I listen to this, I freaking want to be a Canadian myself. I'm about half ready. Oh, fuck America. Let's go be Canadians. Yeah. Whereas Trudeau, not only does he make me not want to be a Canadian, he kind of wants me to he makes me want to hide my head in freaking shame. It's totally a different feel.
I just shake my head at that some of the stuff there. And the whole reason that everything got the only reason that it got started there was because he was dumb enough to answer Trump's questions that you should never answer. And really, I think it's all trolling, and I get PvP's point when he gets upset about it, But another thing is, too, he's just trying to make a point there. He's just trying to get a point across, too, but while also just trolling him.
Well, but again, I want you to be thinking, I'm trying hard not to tell you what to think, but listening to this, can you imagine that maybe Trump had a second reason for saying the things that he said?
Like what?
Oh, here, I'll play a little bit more.
We love our country and our flag. We are a strong people with a proud history as a warrior nation whose soldiers have proven fierce enough to crush the fascists, the communists, and Al-Qaeda, yet humble enough to never once brag about their heroism. We are mild-mannered and made of steel. So let me be clear. We will never be the 51st state. We will bear any burden and pay any price to protect the sovereignty and independence of our country.
Okay, so what do you think about what he said there?
Well, actions speak louder than words there.
You have a point.
But he has the good Canada First message there.
Yes.
But I think he knows that Trump's just trolled over there because
Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Even though if we got a hold of Greenland, the Panama Canal, Canada, might as well just take Mexico and just work our way down the fucking Panama Canal and tell them to swim that. But anyhow, we could be a true American continent there. But
I think Poilievre knows exactly what Trump is doing and why he did it. I think he does. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not responding the right way. In fact, he's responding almost in a perfect way. This is almost exactly the response he should be giving.
That's it. Trump and him are setting it up. They're rigging it. They're rigging the Canadian elections there.
Okay, so PvP, I pray Pierre will win the next election. He is an adult. When he sits down with Trump, I hope they can hammer out a ration deal. And I'm sure they can.
Hey, what people need to do is share out that Apple video there. They'll get a lot of votes right there. That the whole I almost want to play that Apple video.
That's a brilliant video. It's turning into a game of Risk Gorilla. I found his entire speech inspiring, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but yeah, I got about 20, 30 minutes into it, and the parts that I got to listen to were fantastic. We might just do a watch party one of these days of the entire 54 minutes. He makes many good points. Let's see. I hope I've done this right. Let's play another minute or two of him.
Which option the Americans will choose is up to them. But let's be honest. We have to be prepared for the worst. Simply put, we can no longer depend on the Americans alone for our trade. We can no longer think of them as our backup defense. These threats, my friends, are a wake-up call. We should be the wealthiest and most self-reliant economy in the world today, given our natural resources. But instead, here we are. We have the fourth biggest supply of oil, yet we must import 179 million barrels of foreign oil every year because of the liberal No New Pipelines Act, which is still law today. We are the fifth biggest supplier of natural gas, but we can't export a single cubic foot of it overseas because we don't have a single liquefaction facility. The liberals, according to Trudeau and Carney, they don't believe there is a business case.
Okay, let me pause it there, catch up on the chat, and then I'll see what you guys think about that, and then give the punchline that I hope I know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't. Nemesis also hopes that he gets elected. PvP, it's a campaign speech. He has many good points. Yeah, the first 20 minutes, he made a lot of good points. Lemon Pie, they've already started with foreign interference in our elections. Spies, the Chinese lab scientists from China sent back during COVID. The list goes on. Chinese police stations here. And then Lemon Pie is asking when the election is.
Well, it can be anywhere from now to whenever they get off their ass.
Right. That's the trouble with a parliamentarian system. He has Parliament shut down. Kevin's Trekkie, our election keeps being pushed back to now it's October 2026 unless Jagmeet breaks the tie. So, Gorillas, what's your thought on what he said? And have you figured out at least what I think Trump is trying to do with the things that he said?
Well, he's just trying to get us to, like, we've always been cooperative, but we got so many natural resources on this continent there. Especially if we combined, we would be unstoppable for the next 200 years.
Yes. Or at least for a long, long time. I agree. Trudeau had this plan all along to push it further to give the Liberals time to get Carney in. And it was interesting that he mentioned Carney. He knows Trudeau will be irrelevant. He knows that Carney is the one he has to take out. So here's what I'm proposing. And again, this isn't to change your minds about Trump or to change your feelings about it. But after I listened to this, I honestly thought to myself, when I was in high school in football, the coach would often piss me off and I would end up playing harder. And I think that's what he's doing with the conservatives in Canada. Now, it's a legitimate point that he may also be uniting the liberals, but I think he's basically trying to inspire the conservatives to unite, to make Canada first, and to fight hard to defeat the liberals. Maybe I'm full of shit, but what do you think about that thought?
I don't think he's full of shit. I think he means what he's saying there.
Right.
In Canada, they just see their biggest problem is they're not exploiting the resources they have there.
Right.
In the name of climate change, just burn up even more oil and gas to import it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if my point catches or not, but if you didn't get anything else from this, Doge isn't so bad, and they're being transparent and they're saving us lots of money. And Canada doesn't really need to be afraid of us trying to take over, but they do need to rally around this gentleman right here and vote the frickin' liberals out. And, be mad at Trump if you want to be mad at us if you want to be, but be strong Canadians, be united Canadians, and get Trudeau the fuck out, get Carney out, and make Canada great again. That's what I say. So, you got anything?
No, I think we covered what you wanted to cover there, didn't we?
We did. We
Pretty
did. The Governor General has given the green light to drag it out. Most of our national forests are owned by China. China. Most of your forests have been bought by China. It's the most terrible thing that's ever happened. China is evil. They're the source of all evil. They're the most evil thing that's ever been, other than Biden and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Oh, there is one more thing.
Yes, what's that?
I believe I hear Cassie in the background there.
There is Cassie. Hey, Cassie, where'd you go? Cassie. Cassie, you want a treat? Here, let me bribe her with a treat. She'll come back. There's my love. Here's my love. Cassie, she's the sweetest doggy of my life. All right. Come on, we got to show everyone. Okay, so if you only get 3 things from this stream, actually 4 things. Subscribe to Gorillas and me. Doge is good, and we're going to save what money we can. Canada is great. They're a great neighbor. We love them. And Trump is being a troll for his own insidious reasons. And the 4th thing you need to take from this. Oh, I guess.
Me.
That's not what I meant to do. No.
Yeah, ignore all the clothes in the background there. It just got lazy on laundry here.
No, trust me.
Laundry.
What did I do with my camera?
Hey, at least I'm getting clothes washed.
If you were a crazy man, what would you do with your camera? Cassie is a wonderful dog. That's the last thing you should get out of this stream. Let's see.
What breed is she?
She is half Australian Shepherd and half Burmese Mountain, according to Google. I don't
So she's
really
a mutt.
know. She is a mutt. She was a rescue dog. Jar Jar is a Sith Lord. I agree with that. PvP, we have one of the biggest resources in the world. Canada used to be a great country. Trudeau has called us a post-national state.
What the fuck does that even mean?
That means
Oh,
the
sorry.
globalists are taking over.
Oh, sorry. I've been cussing up a storm of the
Oh, that's
street.
okay. Suzanne, I know those things. I'm just saying they wouldn't go all out over war craziness. Yes, she's half Australian Shepherd and half Burmese Mountain is what Google said.
But I think with a lot of these things, Trump may seem like a nutcase here, but there seems to be like a method to his madness.
Yeah, and I may be wrong. I've been wrong before and will be again. No way this goes to 2026. I'm not arguing with you about any of the other things. They pull a lot of stuff here too. Cassie for Prime Minister. Yes, I would vote for her.
It's got well, some of these elections here. Did you ever watch that South Park election or South Park episode where they had the school elections?
No, I didn't.
Well, they they came up with the most ridiculous things they could vote for a mascot. It came down to a douche or a turd sandwich.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I do remember that now. I didn't watch it, but I remember other friends talking about it. And yeah, time at home to have a dog is great. Cassie can rule Canada wisely.
Yeah.
I take it once you have a dog, you're ready to settle down and get a wife. Well, I don't know about that, but
I don't know.
I'm
After your when you talked about your last one, there,
that was hell. That was literal hell. Well, maybe I shouldn't say literal hell, but it was hell. Why do you think they're taking all of our guns?
Yeah.
Giant douche or turd sandwich. So, all right. I think, unless you've got something, I'm not going to make y'all go through the pointless things that I have on X, but I do need to check the poll. It looks like 45% voted for Senator Warren hypocrisy. 27.
Now
Go
you
ahead.
got to give her her Indian name.
Pocahontas, yes.
Yeah, or
I
might be able to come up with a nickname other than Pocahontas.
No. 27% wanted a deep dive into Canada. 18% wanted who is getting kickbacks, and 9%. So I'm assuming one vote is Trump a pervert. So it looks like Senator Warren hypocrisy is what we will be talking about next. All right. Well, does anybody have anything they want to discuss before we call it a stream?
Well, what I like to do is go around and promote everybody's channels.
Yes, go for it, gorillas. What have you got coming on?
Well, we'll start with so thank you, Alt World Sorcerers South Africa. Coming, make sure to check out his channel. He has a bunch of crossover AI stuff. He likes to cross stream, and he also has a couple watch parties a week now. So make sure to check him out. Thank you, PvP, for coming. He's going to be starting his channel here pretty soon. Hopefully with watch party at Dark Side. So keep an eye out for that. He has a good music playlist on there. If you sit there and listen to all the music he's put on those playlists, they spent hours working on, he'd be there for a couple months.
Wow.
Thank you, Suzanne, for coming. And thank you, Nemesis of Eden, for coming. Now, he does gaming and that. He streams every day for gaming and all that. He's very attentive to the chat, so make sure to check him out. Thank you, Kevin Strecky, for coming. I can't remember if you have anything on your channel or not. Correct me if the chat if you're wrong. Thank you, Ancient One, for coming. Thank you, Scurvy, also known as Lemon Pie, for coming. And scrolling. Rawhide. Scrolling.
I would also like to thank Connie Cleary.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Connie. If you ever need a pick me up for the day, Connie has she does bird videos. It's always really cool to check out. There's a little perk me up there.
Yes. Wonderful, positive stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, JPRPH1, for coming.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Resolute Germ.
Yeah, and he has a Saturday morning cartoons there. There were he has every Saturday there he does Saturday morning cartoons, a new cartoon every week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Thank you, FKHC 2005, for coming. He does a couple of he has a couple videos on his channel, so make sure to check them out.
Mark Malnikoff, Kapla. I don't know how you would get your hands on it, but he was the weapons specialist for the play, A Klingon Christmas Carol. So it's well worth your watch if you can ever find a way to get your hands on that.
Yeah. And thank you, Booger 414, for coming. I can't remember if you have any. I don't think you have anything on your channel. I think you're a consumer there.
Consima. Mikey Susie 4, thank you very much for coming. And he has a wonderful channel. He does lots of reviews, talks. Definitely want to check him out. Codis Fact Search, he's actually trying to lay low, but he's a wonderful human being, and I'm glad that he shows up. One of the most intelligent people I know is Codis Fact Search.
And also, thank you, Booty Duty Nick, for coming.
Old Man Bird, thank you very much for paying $35,000 in taxes. Sorry.
Yeah, and thank you again for that super chat. That's awfully generous of you, Eugene.
Woo!
And thank you, Jeff B, for coming.
Jeff B, Montgomery County. Nice.
That's that richest county in the that produces nothing.
Right. Daniel's Hot Topics. I hope I've thanked you. Check this gentleman out as well. He has some informative videos.
Thank you, the Phantom Boomer Explorers, for coming. He runs street watch parties a week on Cosby, so make sure but he puts the previews for those on his channel, so make sure to check him out. And thank you, Eric 130, for coming. He has his Mach 1 for Life their channel, where he's he's actually rebuilding the Mach 1 that he had as a kid there. They sold it, then he found it again. He bought it back.
Kevin's Trekkie. I don't know if he has any content, but thank you for.
Yep, I asked him there. I think we're you started at the top. I started from the bottom there.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Hey, and welcome, David. Do you have anything on your channel there? We're just closing up, but I like to promote people on the thing there. And yes, Resolute Germ, we're still going. Oh, and PvP's correct me. It's Dark Shadows. Whatever I said.
Dark Shadows. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got everybody there. Yeah, as for me there, I'm gonna try to get another couple songs made here yet, but I gotta find the inspiration for them.
You're the meaning in my life.
But otherwise, Thursday we'll have 2 more episodes of Firefly. Friday will be the Waltons review. You should join us. You should watch the Waltons episode there. Join us one of these Fridays.
Waltons Friday. All right. We shall watch Waltons this Friday.
Yeah, that one's a review there. That Sunday there, I'm gonna try to stream Sunday, but I got overstreamed last Sunday, and I ended up at that person's thing instead. But I'm gonna try to get. I still got to get Connie's Wild Hogs done. I'll get that done one of these days. But that's it for me.
All right. Well, I do something on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and every other Saturday. Typically Tuesday and Thursday, I do some kind of talk like this, vaguely political or economic. I have seen Firefly, and I love it. I love Firefly. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Oh.
And every other Saturday, I've been doing Saturday morning cartoons, but I'm trying to think of, I don't know, because it seems like everybody does that, and I seem to be in competition when I really don't necessarily want to.
I think it's more of the timing there, too.
Yeah.
And watch parties are sometimes hard to get people there, and they're definitely hard to get watch hours for.
Yeah, they are. And I think I brought it up, but I'm 192 watch hours away from being monetized. So.
All right, guys, I'm going to be putting a link in the chat here since we're closing up. I want you all, every single one here, to go over to Life with Matthew and yell at him for streaming over me. Because he used to stream on Monday, and he used to, Chris, I'm going to have to put it in the private chat for you to put it on yours there. But he used to stream on Babylon 5 on Mondays, so that's why I rarely ever streamed on Mondays. But now he's switched to Tuesdays. So I want you all to go over there and yell at Matthew for streaming over me.
All right. Well, it's been said that life is pain And anyone trying to tell you otherwise is trying to sell you something. I, in fact, am trying to sell you something. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that you are smart enough and wise enough to run your life on your own. You don't need big governments or big corporations telling you how to live. And lastly of all, I would like to tell you that you're not going mad. You're going sane in a world gone mad. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I will see you soon.